This episode of the podcast is brought to you by HRH Combat Arms. They can turn your vision into reality. They specialize in gunsmithing and Cerakoting. Your Cerakote specialist is Air Force veteran and retired police sergeant Paul Ware, a.k.a. the Sarge. He can Cerakote your firearms, auto parts, tools, even your sports equipment. And then your master gunsmith is Marine veteran Steve Miller. This veteran-owned business is located at 5025 Saunders Suite, 103, Fort Worth, Texas, 76119. You can call them at 682-304-0363, and you can find them online at www.hrhcombatarms.com. That's www.hrhcombatarms.com. Yeah, buddy. Welcome back. Two Cops, One Donut. I'm your host, Eric Levine. How's everybody doing? Mr. Pablo, how are you, sir?
Good. How are you?
Wonderful. I got my special guest with me today. He's a man of many talents, one of which is lighting and camera work. Apparently, a fellow officer of mine heard my distress call, and I told him, I said, hey, dude, I need some lighting help. And he had told me in the past, and everybody knows I have a terrible memory, but he told me, hey, dude, I used to do Hollywood stuff back in the day before I became Popo. And I was like, what? Really? And I just forgot. And then I put out another plea, and he's like, dude, I told you. I'd come over and help. And I was like, you did. I'm an idiot. So here he is, Mr. Pablo. Paul is his American name, I guess. I like Pablo personally better. Paul Garcia. He is here in the studio, and if you are noticing new camera angles, it's because Paul came in and tweaked some stuff for me to help me out, and he said my lighting's atrocious, and I need some help. So thank you, sir. Welcome.
My pleasure. Thanks for inviting me.
Yes, sir.
I come in here, and I was very impressed with your setup. It's nice microphones, little mixture, little music intro, your own personalized intro music. Very impressive.
Right.
Except your lighting.
Yeah.
Yeah. I seen better lighting in a attic or closet.
Dude, I told you. When I told you, I said it's a ghetto setup. I got lights everywhere.
Boy, you weren't lying.
I know. This is what we do in Flint. That's how you just try to make do.
No, but like I said, it's very impressive, and I'm pretty.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, it's pretty cool stuff here.
It's not bad for a guy that knew nothing.
No, not at all. Not at all.
I had no clue how to do any of this. So, so before we get started about chatting with your life, I got some cool things coming down the pipe for the show. Today, it is what is it? We're not in August anymore. We're in September, correct?
First of the, what is it? It's fall.
Yeah.
First day of fall.
September 22nd. I was contacted by Flock Safety Systems, camera system that we're familiar with in the city that we're around, and a very valuable police tool. They're going to sponsor the show for 2 months.
Wow. So does that mean I get paid for being, since I'm the first guest?
I paid you. I gave you beer.
That's, you did.
I mean,
now it's a little flat, but I'm not going to complain. No, I'm not.
Okay. It was a fresh bottle.
It's very tasty. Thank you so much.
And I had a Texas beer here, so I had a little shiner back.
Wow, congratulations, man. That's
pretty big.
It's
man.
a huge thing.
Yeah. So, and I'm hoping the idea that we talked about anyway is that it's going to lead to a more of a permanent thing. They want to feel it out, see how it goes. And the cool part is they're going to share the show on their platforms once we start getting sponsored.
Oh, wow.
So
that's
they've
good.
Got a pretty big following.
So it's pretty big.
Yeah.
Congratulations. I'm gonna have to clap for that.
Thank you, sir.
Very nice.
So we're doing something right.
Well,
so.
I want to thank you so much for flying me in.
Yeah.
And the accommodations are not that very pleasant.
Not that
but
pleasant.
No,
yeah.
it's a little shady part of town. But yeah, I understand budgetary wise.
Yeah, one of the prostitutes I arrested owed me a favor. And so
I know, because she came knocking.
Yeah. So she stays there too.
Well, hopefully my wife is not watching.
Yeah. I joke, I kid. All right. Well, Mr. Pablo.
Yes, sir.
There are so many things with a person of your experience we could chat about. And we haven't really talked about what we were going to discuss today, but some of the stuff I want to talk about with you is your teaching. One of the big things that you do down here in Texas, me being a Michigan boy, and You being
Illinois, land of
Illinois,
Lincoln.
man. You understand the importance of being able to speak the language down here.
Yes, sir.
I didn't get that back home. So
Right.
You graciously tried to teach me in the academy. And you singled me out to help me get better, I believe. I think that was
It didn't work, but you know, you tried.
And then I took intermediate.
Yes.
And you singled me out again.
Correct.
In the class.
Did I teach you rookie Spanish?
Yeah.
Did I really?
Yeah. You and
Ricky?
yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Holy gamoly. I don't remember. I don't remember it was intermediate, but I don't remember the rookie.
Yeah.
Basic Spanish. Wow.
Yeah. You guys were a tandem, which was fun.
I should stop drinking.
Yep.
That's what I think I should do.
I didn't know we got started.
Salute.
Yet, sir. Right. But
Wow, that's good.
so give us a little background. How did you get in police work? Where'd you come from? Obviously Illinois and all that stuff. You are a Duolingo person. You have some Hollywood background. So let's get into all that first to let people understand all of this.
Right. It's weird how life works.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
You see things and as growing up and you go, that drops a seed in your brain.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what I want to do. You know, I guess I was going to school in Chicago and we passed by this bum. And as soon as we walked by, I looked back and go, poor guy, you know, it's cold and all that. He got up real quickly and somebody came out from the store and he flipped out a badge and a gun comes out and he was working undercover. And that was the coolest thing I've ever seen.
Did he say, "Freeze, scumbag"?
I don't remember what he said, but I was like, what? You know, and as a kid, you'd see that on TV.
Yeah.
Or the movies, but you never see that in person.
Right.
And I go, my gosh, it does happen. And that's where the seed dropped in. But, you know, I went into the academy when I was 44. So that's years after I wanted to do all the fun things I wanted to do in my life. And at the end, I came back in the circle, and here I am.
Nice.
Yeah, 14 years in.
Dang. So did you do any police work in Chicago?
No.
Okay.
Well, I was still a kid over there now.
Okay. How old were you when you got into police work?
44.
Right on the cusp.
You
baby.
You forgot.
I didn't forget.
Okay.
Other people didn't know.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, 44. I was 43 and I turned 44 first week.
Dang.
Yeah.
So when I was an academy instructor, I had several people come through on the cusp. You know, I think 45 was a cutoff.
Yes.
And I will tell people out there, they want it. At that age,
Sure.
they want it more.
Correct.
Than most. And they typically, most of them make it.
Right.
And where you'll see 20, 21, 24-year-olds
That is true.
drop out. So,
Yeah, that is true.
anytime, you know, when you first become an instructor, you read the room and you try to, like, all right, that dude,
Correct.
he ain't gonna make it. That dude, he ain't gonna make it. And I'll be
That is true.
Be the first to admit that I was wrong right away with most of the older fellas. who were in
Really?
the class.
Well, yeah, you thinking that physically they're not up to par, but man.
Body takes a beating.
Yeah.
And,
Sure.
And even most of the older gentlemen that would come through, if they got banged up and recycled, basically for those listening, if you get injured and it's through training, like, we're not going to kick you out of the academy. That's not your fault. That's our fault. In a way, it's nobody's fault. Nobody wants to get hurt. But if it happens, then you get rolled back, basically. So you start with the next academy. And
Correct.
guy that graduated in my class, Mr. Rudd, I think he went through 2.
Really?
Yeah. Yep. He was 42-ish when he started. I think he finished at the cutoff.
Wow.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I got injured first day at the academy running the mile and a half at the old academy, which we had.
Yeah, right day one.
Pull a hamstring.
Dang.
And if you ever had to pull a hamstring, it hurts.
I've had a hamstring cramp, and that was recent. That was one of the first times that ever happened, and
it's painful.
I was in the truck. I was leaving the gym.
Yeah.
And I about jumped through the roof because I couldn't stop it. You know,
Right.
If you get it in the calf, you just pull your toes towards it, and that'll help.
Yeah, that one is just...
I didn't know how to stop this one, so
It's painful.
Yeah.
So I popped that, and man, I would just limp the runs. I didn't stop because I didn't want to recycle. I didn't know there was a recycling program. I didn't want to.
Right.
So they broke my ribs. I popped my groin muscles. I kept at it. I kept my mouth shut.
Yeah.
And I got the, what is it? The 3B? No, 3Ds.
3D
Determination,
Yeah.
dedication, and desire. No, I think desire is kind of sexual, isn't it? Yeah, no. Determination, desire,
Dementia. At your age, it's
That's
probably
what it is.
dementia. Yeah. Fucker.
I'm not going to cuss. I promise I wouldn't do that.
In English.
Yeah, and I'll consider it in Spanish.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I don't know if I have a Spanish-speaking audience yet.
No.
Probably not.
No, probably not.
Yeah. I mean, their primary language is probably English.
True.
Yeah, so.
But they'll understand those who speak. I think they'll get the word.
I remember, do you remember the movie Encino Man?
Yes.
And
Back
they
in the
were
80s.
They were sitting in the Spanish-speaking class, and they said, the cheese is old and moldy. Where's the bathroom? But it was that proper, like, Castilian
yes,
style.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we don't.
Yeah.
No.
It was like El Sanitario.
Yeah, no. Nobody speaks that way.
No.
No.
Yeah. Not the cool people.
No.
Got that Tex-Mex. So you were in Illinois. How did you learn Spanish?
Through my mom and dad.
Okay.
They were adamant about learning Spanish at first at home.
Okay.
And no English was allowed. So English was learned at school, and I could speak it with my siblings, but when we spoke to them, it was Spanish. And I'm glad.
Yeah.
I'm very glad. I lost it when I left high school, and I moved up my own and this and that, and completely forgot it. And I could speak with a real broken Spanish. And then I started, no, that's not a good idea, because eventually I want to get paid to go do a gig, something. So I started learning again, speaking Spanish with friends, or I didn't have any Spanish people speaking friends living in L.A. of all places.
Oh.
This is really weird.
That is weird.
I didn't have any Spanish-speaking people, friends of mine. And so I completely lost it. So I started watching TV, Spanish TV, and listening to Spanish radio and reading in Spanish out loud and getting back into the, original home language, the mud language, which I like to say, I call myself.
The mud language. So when you went from Illinois to LA?
Yeah.
How long were you out in LA?
17 years.
What?
Yeah.
Between what years?
I left in 83.
You left?
Illinois in 83. We left Chicago back in 76. Moved to a town called Quincy, Illinois, right across from Hannibal, Missouri. People don't know what Hannibal, Missouri is. That's where Mark Twain and Huckleberry Finn are. The stories are written about. And we went back to California, and that was a culture shock.
Oh, really?
Because I'm thinking, I grew up with farm boys, What's all my buddies were farmers, and we used to tassel corn and work in the, soybean crops and just, pick up hay and stuff like that, which I loved.
Yeah.
But someone went to a big city, and I heard people speaking Spanish, and there's Koreans, and there's Lebanese, and like, what?
Melting pot.
Yeah, like, what the?
Yeah.
Opened up my eyes, and what was going on?
Dang, you went to LA the year I was born.
83?
Yeah.
Holy gamoly.
I don't know how many
different
ways I can make you feel old.
Right, yeah. Well, you haven't aged well, so.
Right.
That's why I didn't think.
Thanks, bud.
No, I'm teasing. You look a fine young pup.
Well, it's because I grew my hair out finally.
Nice, and you combed it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
my
that
wife
makes a big
me.
difference.
So.
Yeah.
Okay, so you go out to LA. What's the... you said you wanted to be a cop, but what was the...
Well, growing up in Chicago, I listened to the radio a lot.
Okay.
This station I loved, and my dad bought me a little football radio, and I listened to AM radio, and I listened to the stations at night and listened to the records, and the disc jockeys had to work there, and I go, dang, that's what I want to do.
Yeah.
And it just, for some reason, we went to, never left the idea of going to broadcasting or making movies or working in movies. And my buddy, when we were in high school, he joined the Marine Corps, and it was a buddy system.
Oh, yeah.
And so I joined with him.
Okay.
And right before I signed the dotted line, my pops was a wise man, said to me, listen, what do you want to do in life? I said, I want to work in movies and radio. He goes, well, LA's a place.
Yeah.
You're still young. Give yourself a goal or a year to see if you can break in.
Yeah.
And if you don't, you can always go back to the Marine Corps and do what you want to do.
Yeah. That'll be there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I said, oh, that's pretty good. So I did that. And I think 6 months in, I was in broadcast school. And then I don't know how I fell in working in the movies. One guy goes, hey, I'm doing this. And do you want to do it? Mm-hmm. And it was video tap. And back in the day, and they still shoot and film.
Okay.
But what they do is they shoot and film the first day. Then that film's got to be taken to Kodak Film Company or some lab where they develop the film.
Okay.
So then they cut pieces of the film that they shot, and those are called the dailies.
All right.
So the director the next day would have to wait to see what the shot looked like. Right?
Yeah.
So, okay, did we reshoot it again? Do we need to fix the lighting, whatever? The actor flubbed his lines, whatever. So some genius came up with video tapping, which would put a small video camera by the film camera or built in somehow, and they would add these BNC cables back into 6 or 4 VHS machines. Mm-hmm. So we would put tapes on them, time code it, and the director would go to action, and I would hit start at 0, and they would record the scene. And the director, okay, Paul, give me tape. Give me take 7, 12, 15, and 22. So I would play that for him. So he would have that shot that same day as opposed to waiting the next day for the dailies.
Yeah.
So it kind of technology started advancing in film.
Yeah, I didn't even think about how long
isn't that crazy?
stuff had to take back then.
Yeah.
I'll do a 3-hour podcast and I can edit it now 45 minutes to an hour.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, technology just moves so fast.
Everything done.
It's easier.
Yeah.
You know?
Now, the part that takes the longest is just transferring the files
Right.
from the cameras to the computer.
How long does that take?
With the 4K, each video is almost 100 gigs typically. So you're talking 300 gigs transferred airdrop.
Well, you're talking monkey language to me. I have no idea what that is.
Okay, so it will travel to space. And then it'll go from space.
I didn't say I was an idiot how it works.
So you remember Willy Wonka, right?
Yes. Oh, gotcha. Yes, when it goes to gotcha.
So
that's how it works.
That's how it works.
Same technology.
Same
Who would have
stuff.
thought?
I got some Oompa Loompas, and they help me out.
Very nice.
But yeah, so AirDrop, it's basically a wireless way to drop it. So
gotcha.
And it's only through Apple. Well, luckily, like I told you today, I'm trying something out new, folks. I keep having terrible issues with my cameras. So I got my iPhone back out. I got my wife's iPad and my iPad, and that's what I'm filming with today. So,
it seems so caveman-like,
right?
But it really isn't. Because it's 4K, and people can shoot. I think even broadcast quality are 4K.
Yeah, and the thing that I've found so far, and this is just me through my own trials and tribulations, is that the terrible lighting that I have in here, this thing helps fix it on its own.
Right.
So even though it looks bad to us, when I go to post and fix this, edit it looks pretty good.
Well,
So
I can tell it looks like a crap.
Yeah.
It looks crappy.
Yeah.
No, I'm teasing you. It looks good.
Oh,
No. But
better.
when we get the equipment, you'll see a huge difference.
Yeah.
And but for what you got, it's not bad.
Yeah, and it's something they can do. So we'll see. We got a higher angle with the camera this time. We'll see how that works out. See if people are like,
it's all trial and error.
Yeah, and it's subjective too. If
True.
People are like, ugh, I got seasick looking down on you.
Well, I don't think.
I doubt that's gonna happen.
No, it's not.
So, but yeah, so we're trying all this new stuff out, and we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I need the lighting. That's a big one.
Yeah.
So you get out there, and I'm sorry, I got off on
That's
a tangent.
quite all right.
The part that I was trying to get to is I can't even fathom back in the day how long it would take to make a movie because they had to do everything manually.
Right.
And
you're talking about editing by the fingertips.
Yeah.
Right. Film, as you know, comes in strips.
Yep.
So you get your film and you get the time code on them, and then you have a splicer.
Yeah.
So you would get your film strips and then slice them. Right? Be camera A, you got the wide angle.
Yeah.
Over here is the medium shot or a cutaway or the close-up. And you put it together on a little splicing machine, put tape, put it together, and then add it to the reel.
Yeah.
So it would take forever.
Yeah.
Now it's like you drop the image, boom, 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 done.
Yeah. Yeah. And if you screw up the old way,
you're screwed because
you got to refilm
right,
it.
or you have to make copies just in case. You know, because once you cut a frame,
Yep.
it's gone.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like here we can go back and get your master and add it, download it again, whatever. Yeah, it's fascinating how they're doing stuff now.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
And like I said, a big learning curve for me. But I went from taking about 24 hours to edit to, like I said, an hour.
But it's fun, isn't that?
It is. It's fun. It's just...
It's tedious. It's
I get
sometimes
frustrated real easy.
I bet.
Because I don't care how many times I've edited, nothing goes the same way, ever.
What do you mean?
It's like handling a domestic. Okay, it doesn't matter how many times.
Always different.
It's always different. It could be the same couple. You're still gonna go there.
True,
and it's
but
gonna be different.
do you not have a system that you go by?
I do, but it's the software. Like it's got a mind of its own.
It's very sensitive.
Yeah, so I like the little preview box, right? So when I go to edit,
right,
I'm watching
to see how
it looks while
right.
I'm going. Sometimes that box pops up automatically. Sometimes I have to turn the software. I get out of it.
See, yeah, that
come back in to get that to come up. Sometimes it just doesn't come up at all, and I don't know where to find to make it come up.
See,
so.
I would load this thing and then shoot it.
Yeah, right.
No, there's no way. No, I don't have the patience for that.
Yeah. So
wow,
I get worked up sometimes.
Understandable.
My wife will peek in. Hey, I'm about to cook dinner. I'm like, get out of here.
It's understandable. Yeah.
Yeah. So I get frustrated.
Yeah.
But it's like this thing. See how the sides have black on them because the picture isn't all the way through. And for those that are just listening, I'm pointing at my TV that has my 2 Cops 1 Donut Simpsons picture on there. You will watch my episode. Sometimes it's full screen.
And then sometimes it's
not. So what I was doing is I was Chromecasting. So what that is, do you know what Chromecasting is?
Yes.
Okay, so I would Chromecast off the computer onto here. Well, all of a sudden, lately, a screensaver pops up. And it just goes to the Google Chromecast screensaver on its own. I don't know how to make it stop doing that. So we'd be talking, and all of a sudden, this thing would switch, and it'd be a peacock, and then a city picture.
Well, just be grateful it's just that.
Yeah, yeah. It's Google.
It's not if it's just if the peacock is missing the P.
Yeah.
And then you see something. You know what I'm saying? I would be.
I just put an X-rated.
I'd be calling the FCC on you. Yeah.
YouTube would pull me. It's okay. They don't pay me anything. So.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, you got to have 1,000 viewers to even start.
You've got 2?
I've got 560 something.
And you need how many?
1,000.
Wow.
I'm a little over halfway there.
Halfway there?
Hey,
halfway there.
Climb.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. But, okay, so you get into the film industry.
Is this, by the way, one of the most boring interviews you've ever had?
No.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so let me...
Because you've had some pretty good guests in here.
Yeah, let me kind of break it down, what I'm trying to accomplish with this show. One of the things I'm trying to do. People are going to come on here, and they're going to know, one, you're an officer, okay? If they don't care for officers, they're going to listen just because they hate officers. Haters going to hate.
That's a good point.
So
cheers to them.
Right. So haters going to hate. And then hopefully they start hearing some of the stuff you say. Like, this dude joined at what age? Okay, right. He's old school. Okay, cool. He came from Chicago. Oh, he was in Hollywood? Right.
Got my Cubbies on.
Up into Wrigley. And we're going to talk for, we're a half hour in already. We're going to talk for 2 hours, maybe 3. And they're going to start to get to know your personality. And now there's a face and a human behind that blue uniform. And maybe there's somebody out there that was considering joining the police department at a later age, not
Right.
20s, not in their 20s like, most people do. And no offense. That's
No,
typically,
sure.
that's typically the age. So it'll give them a little hope. And then they're going to learn some more stuff about you. You're, being bilingual. Maybe you could tell them what it's like being a Hispanic officer. That's a different perspective. And that is my goal, is just I want people to know how you got where you got.
Gotcha.
You had this unique background. I mean, you obviously weren't a Boy Scout. You didn't get, I don't know if you got bullied. You may have been bullied. I don't know. You don't obviously have that alpha personality that people put with most cops.
Right.
And so it's just to help people understand and give them a champion to kind of root for.
Gotcha.
So
Makes sense. I was a Boy Scout, though.
You were a Boy Scout?
Yes, I sure was. Troop 168.
You remember it. Dang.
Sure do. I got one merit badge. I forget what it was called, but I'm not too proud to say how I got it, but I'm going to let you know anyway. We would...
What did you steal?
No, I didn't steal anything. It's what we did to get that merit badge. My buddies and I will go up to someone's apartment,
Okay,
with a BB gun, and then shoot old people as they're walking the street,
what?
making them fall while my other troop members would go pick them up. So it was our good deed.
Oh my!
So once they were able to get them off the street and walk them across the street safely, it'd be my turn to hang on the street corner and wait for someone to fall. And,
Oh my God!
yeah, that's horrible.
I mean, okay,
That's outside Chicago stuff.
I'm giving you credit for ingenuity. You saw a problem and you helped solve it. Was that on your background packet?
That's over 180 days.
Oh, yeah,
yeah,
statute of
I'm good.
limitation.
I'm
Okay.
good.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's bad.
I could just see you up there sniping Red Ryder.
And I got just one. I never made it past scout.
Okay.
Yeah, so
So all that was
just one merit
just
badge.
needed one.
Yeah, that's all I needed.
yeah.
Like I said, I'd done it.
Yeah, you did it.
Yeah, heck yes.
Yeah, I mean, do they have a felony assault badge? They don't have those. Assault with
Man,
firearm
that
badge.
is horrible, isn't it? Now you think about it. Wow.
It was one pump. They'll
You
be
know
all
what?
right. They lived a good
Some
life.
old folks took more than one shot to
Yep.
take them down.
Jesus.
That is horrible.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Dude, that is awesome.
Yeah.
I've never heard of anything like that.
Yes, sir. I got plenty more of those stories.
Okay.
Yeah, let's just move
All
on.
right, let's move on from the felony assault
Yes.
charge. Okay. So you were a terrible scout.
Yeah.
Jesus. That's awesome. All right. So what happened? Why didn't you make it in the film industry, man?
I kind of did. It was more creative stuff that I wanted to do, and I was the more you work in crews, low budget, you start knowing other folks who go on to bigger projects, more money, and but if you commit to someone, and then the guy goes, "Hey, I got a 3-month production, and we want you to come with us," blah blah blah. It pays whatever, but you can't leave your buddy hanging on the
Yeah.
B movie. So. Just so many opportunities that came up, and I left Hollywood because my buddy goes, "Hey, I got a DJ gig in Aspen for a year."
Okay.
I said, "Holy smokes, I want to learn how to ski." Right. So
Why not?
I left for Aspen, lived for a year in Aspen, and I learned how to ski, and was a prep cook in the mornings. And that was also with my love of cooking. Because after that, I went to culinary school,
Okay.
and I went back to TV, and I went back to radio, and then
You've had like 5 careers in this.
5 careers.
30
I mean, in
minute
the
story
this
already.
whole thing. And then I went back to California, and I was working in advertisement, and I was shooting industrial films for Honda, Hilton Hotels, and Sizzler. Remember Sizzler?
Yeah.
I did that for training videos for their staff and stuff like that. And I had a whole crew. It was really cool.
Yeah. Were they like the corny ones? Like the Hi, welcome to the staff.
Similar, but my more the angle of the camera movement, and I always move the cameras.
Okay.
So the guy goes, "Oh, that's nice."
You ever watch the movie Waiting?
Yes,
He's the
yes,
kid stuck in the back watching
Yes.
the front video.
that's really my when I saw. I go, "Oh my god, I used to do those," and that's true.
Yeah.
And then in the process, I was working at this radio station in San Francisco that I got hired, and then within 2 years or a year, they fired me because they changed the music format from rock to Tejano, which is really weird switch.
They fired you because they switched to Tejano?
Yes, they switched.
That seems like you would have been a good fit.
Right, Tejano or Spanish, I forget what it was, but I didn't speak Spanish well enough.
Oh, okay.
So, and that's common back in the day. Hey, sorry, we're switching, and goodbye. So I had to find a job real quick. So I went to Stanford Mall in Palo Alto, and I became a security guard.
Oh,
it was
dream starts.
Let me tell you something. It was one of the best, funnest jobs I've ever had. We did things I can't still say. But everyone
They'll never find a body.
Everyone there wanted to be a cop except me.
Yeah.
I just was still didn't interest me. My brother was an officer here in Texas, and but I never wanted to go that route. And so I went back to television. Once I got a job, I left the Stanford security gig, and then went back to TV. Went back to cooking, flip flop back and forth, and then I got tired of TV. Mm-hmm. And so my brother goes, "Hey, why don't you join?" And I applied.
Dang.
And that's it.
Okay. So you said I remember you telling me about, I think it was a Bruce Lee. Was it a Bruce Lee movie release or something? Or was it Star Wars?
I think you're talking about somebody else. You got me confused.
No. It was
I think you got too many beers in you already, sir.
You said you sat across and they were like releasing. Man, I thought you said it was Star Wars or like a Bruce Lee movie or something.
No, sir. That was in the 70s. I was still a little kid.
No, Star Wars was the 80s, so it would have been.
Bruce Lee was.
Yeah. That's true.
Actually, Star Wars late 70s, sir.
And
80s. Yeah. That was the second one came in there. You should be the expert. You should know.
I'm not the expert. I just really like.
Really? I can't tell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like it. So I'm a hobbyist. That's it.
Yeah, it's nice.
I'm not good on the trivia side.
No, I don't remember what you talked about.
I thought it was you. Maybe I was wrong.
Yeah.
So did you get a part of any like big things that we would know?
No, I was always behind the scenes. It's like
okay.
special effects.
You weren't like a random Hispanic guy walking in the background?
My hand was in the commercial one day.
Nice.
Yeah.
That was probably a post-edit mistake.
No, it's because they didn't want to pay the actor.
Oh, jeez.
They have goes into golden time, so they shoot the principal photography, all his face, wide shots, and then when they don't need him, boop, and then they pick somebody else. And I was there. I was the one doing the playback and editing the rough cuts.
Yeah.
When they go, "Hey, Garcia," they used to call me Beans.
That's borderline racist.
No, it's because I like Boston baked beans,
Oh, okay.
right? And they have craft services.
I don't think you can get away with that
No,
today.
well, they still can. It's funny. They still people now used to work in television here.
Yeah.
They go, "Hey, Beans."
All right. I'm going to try that at
Yeah,
work.
yeah.
See
I
how-
even have a bean tattoo. It looks like a heart, but it's actually a bean tattoo.
It looks like a heart.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the most quality. beans.
Yes.
All right.
And so this lady would bring craft services is like basically a snack table.
Okay.
They feed you in the movies anything you want. They want to keep the crew happy. And throughout the production, throughout the shooting, you have a table full of snacks. Everything you can think of.
Well, they need that in the police department.
Yes, they do.
I would love for them to take care
Yes,
of
I
the crew.
totally agree. I totally agree. And one time they had Boston baked beans.
All right.
And I haven't seen them since in Chicago as a kid.
All right.
And so I kept asking, going in for more boxes and barking. Lady goes, I'm just going to call you Beans. And it stuck.
Okay.
Yeah, and it stuck. So,
Dang.
yeah.
I'm still not calling you that.
I don't care.
I'm just-
I liked it.
Yeah.
Hey, Beans. Hey, Beans.
I
Yeah.
can just see the shit I would get at work. For that.
Nah.
Yeah.
No.
What's nice though is where we work. Well, where you work, I reap the fruit of the benefits when it comes to the food that gets brought to y'all.
True.
That happens quite a bit.
Yeah.
You guys get food all the time.
We get a lot of cool snacks.
All right. So you
Yeah.
let's jump ahead. You get in the PD.
Yeah.
And what Where's your mind at when you get in? Where you're like, I'm gonna do SWAT. I'm gonna do I'm gonna do undercover stuff like that crazy homeless dude did.
I thought I was gonna die.
Thought you were gonna die just being a cop.
First day.
Yeah.
No, I didn't know what I wanted to do.
No.
I thought patrol was the coolest thing, and it still is.
Yeah.
And it's just my issue, if I may say so, sir, is nothing wrong with being young and 21.
Right.
Absolutely none. And if you have an issue, if you have a goal of becoming a cop, hey, all power to you. Only thing that concerns me is it was young people who apply, they have no life experience.
Yeah.
You know.
And it's hard when you're dealing with people at their worst time.
Correct. For example, how are you? This is latest camera kid. This kid is like 20 years old. Now, how is he going to tell a 50-year-old dad how to deal with his kid?
Yeah.
And a domestic when he has no kids and he's never been in that position.
Yeah.
I mean, you can learn and read about it, but it never applies necessarily when it's live.
Yeah.
So you got a 50-year-old guy looking at this 20-year-old kid going, excuse me, do you have kids? No, then get the F out of my house.
Yeah.
You know, so, I mean, yes, you learn as you grow in the department, but those are little issues I would wish they had a little more life experience dealing with the public. It's not like a regular job that you go to.
I've mentioned it on here before that I've always known I was going to be a cop. I didn't know what capacity I was going to. I didn't know if I was going to be FBI, ATF. You know,
something in law enforcement.
Something in law enforcement. I knew that was going to be my path. When I finally got to where I was at, you know, at 21 years old, I would have told you I was ready. Like, when I was 21, I'd be like, yeah, I was ready to be a cop. I'm good to go.
Before your military?
Yeah, this is before military.
Okay.
So, I looking back now, like, I was out of my mind. Like, I don't even think I was truly ready to be a cop at 25. Like, maybe, you know what I mean?
I'm not even ready to do it now. You know what I'm saying?
Oh. Maturity-wise, I still haven't really gone past 14.
That's never going to change.
So, yeah, I mean, I still think farts are funny.
Yeah, I agree.
Watching somebody else get hit in the nuts cracks me up. Like, you know.
I agree with you there.
And that pretty much started since I was like 12. So it's never not been funny.
Or you were a late bloomer. I started at 5.
Well, yeah. But, yeah, no, that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was funny then, too.
You know.
So yeah, my maturity level as far as humor goes hasn't really evolved at all, which pisses my wife off. Something fierce.
Well, I understand that. The same thing with my wife.
Yeah. So.
And as you know, sometimes you walk by the office and we're acting like kids.
Right.
You know, it's like
one of my favorite things to do still to this day is get in bed first, like 20 minutes before she's going to get in there with me, and just warm up them blankets.
Do the old Dutch oven.
Oh man, just warm them up.
Nice.
Just a nice hot fluff under there. And don't say anything. Stay like, just sit on the phone. And then as soon as she gets in with that blanket and that whoosh comes up and it's the
Yeah, well, my wife, I did the same thing, but she wised up. Now we have 2 separate sheets. Yeah, I have my own sheets because she doesn't.
You want to know what I learned about the weighted blankets? So I'm an alligator when I sleep. I roll continuously in my sleep. I don't know why. Wow. I'm just keeping the earth in rotation. That's the way I say.
Nice.
So I roll a lot.
I thank you for that.
Yeah. Well, she gets the idea. She's like, why don't we get weighted blankets, at least for the wintertime? All right, cool. She's like, how much do you weigh? You know, they go on your weight and all that stuff. So I got a 20-pound blanket.
Wow.
It's 20 pounds, yeah. So
is it glass?
So I get that thing, and I'm like, all right, it's different, but it helped. It did help a little bit, you know.
Is it anxiety or what is it?
I don't know what it is. I guess it's like a thunder blanket. Wow. I don't know what to call it, but yeah. So it's pretty neat to have. I like it. But the thing I learned about is if you fart under those, it ain't leaving.
Oh,
yeah. I mean, it's like zip locked in.
No kidding.
No escape. So
it backfires on you?
Well, what I would do is I would fart under her blanket. Yeah. And
genius.
Then slip out real fast, and it's in there.
Genius.
And then,
because it's fermenting.
Yeah. And then leave the room. I don't even stay in there. I just leave.
it percolates inside.
Yeah.
Nice.
And then later on, she gets in, and she's like, "What? Oh, did you fart? Oh."
No, my wife will go to violence.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah,
I loved it.
Wow, I gotta try that.
What's bad? I don't know. I have shoulder issues. What's bad about that blanket being 20 pounds is if you try to pull that thing up
right.
in your sleep,
You'll pull something.
oh man, I woke up just in sheer pain. Like, oh my God,
Really?
what did I do?
Your rotor cuff?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, so be
Wow.
careful. It's just a word of advice if you get one. But yeah, they're pretty cool. It does
Wow,
help me with rolling, but you can't wear it. You can't use that thing in the summer. You have to wait till it gets cold.
See, I sleep with a sheet. That's it.
That's it.
Winter
I'm the
and
same.
summer. I can't.
Yep.
Can't.
One leg out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm about a third covered up when I go to
Normally
sleep.
it's my nads are out.
It just your nads? It takes the whole sheet too.
Yep. It's a nice visual.
Right? so let's get back on topic.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's fine. You get on, you don't know what you want to do. You're 60 years old and
58, sir.
58, my bad. 2 years younger.
Yeah. 2 years is 2 years, damn it.
You're right. So you get on and
But I look good for 58.
for sure. Yeah.
I like to think so.
Yeah. I mean, not quite as good as Santos. I don't know.
Ooh, Santos, how old is he?
52. He looks 25.
Okay. Yeah, true. That's true.
If his hair wasn't thinning,
Yeah, you're right. He looks pretty young.
he has got the Adonis genes for Mexico.
He does.
Because,
He can't speak Spanish, though.
no.
So I deduct points there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he can help out. He can hear it. You know
He
what
can
I mean?
understand it.
He can understand
Okay,
it.
knows what he's talking about.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Okay, I'll give
So-
him back the 2 points.
Yeah. He can get a point and a half. Because when we've been in a pinch, I'm like, hey, can you just make sure these girls are okay? Cause
Gotcha.
2 little girls got in an accident. And I needed somebody to just make sure they in the
Right.
ambulance. And he came out and they were talking to him. He's like, this is what happened. And he tells me the whole thing. I'm like, I thought you didn't speak Spanish. He's like, I don't.
He can now. As long as he can put it together, it's very helpful.
Yeah. But that dude's genes. I don't know. He hit the jackpot.
He's a good dude.
Yeah. He is a good guy. But so you fall into teaching pretty quick, I take it.
It took a couple of years.
Because what year did you get on?
2000. I started in 7 and then got released in 2008.
Okay, so 08, I was here in 12. So, yeah.
Yeah, I guess I did.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, buddy.
Man, dementia is a
Yeah.
bitch.
Triple D, man.
Wow.
But that's where I met you. You were teaching the Spanish class, and you had your suave partner with the handlebar mustache.
Yes. Very sexy, that man.
Yeah. Now, I know he goes down to Mexico and trains
Correct.
the policia down
Yeah,
there, federales and whatnot. Did you go with him?
There's a couple of trips that I was scheduled to go, and then they got canceled.
Oh,
So
you got scared.
I've never.
I gotcha.
Yeah, I've never been. I've
They
always
saw
wanted to.
right through you.
Boy, they
Are
would
you
have.
beans?
Yeah. Boy, they would have given me the old one too.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah.
Man. What type of okay? So, notoriously for Americans, it's told when you go down there, like cops are corrupt. Like they will basically extort you.
Mexican cops?
Yeah.
Yes. Well,
What's the deal?
it's a system that's been put in place years and years and years. 'Cause it starts from the top, and they're expecting their patrol guys, the lowest patrol officers, to get money, and it gets kicked up.
Oh,
So officers are trying to, actually good cops who want to stop and get away from that, get isolated. And they don't get any backup, so they're put more in danger because they don't trust them. Like what they used to back in New York.
yeah,
If you were a good cop,
yeah.
you were
Because there's a lot of corruption.
correct.
too,
You
too,
were
back
you
in
were
the
a
day.
bad. They wouldn't trust you.
Was I talking to you about that Netflix? It's like a documentary movie about New York.
No, once again, sir, you've
Wasn't
got
you?
me confused
No.
with somebody
Have you
else.
seen that though?
No.
I've talked about it on here before, and I still haven't figured out the name of it. But I think it was in the 70s. The officer was arrested, and they did the documentary once he got released or something like that. And he's talking about like all the corrupt crap he did.
Really?
And yeah, this is amazing.
Yeah, because they were bad.
Yeah, bad.
They're bad.
Yeah.
So what they do is, but they don't get paid. I think they get paid like 300 to 400 pesos a month, which probably equals to $200 monthly.
Oof.
So when the cartel goes to you and says, "Listen, I need for you to pull over that truck," just pull it over, right? Mm-hmm. And I'll give you $2,000 or $5,000 U.S. cash. That's got to make you think, because you're thinking, as a male, your responsibility is to maintain your family,
right,
feed your family, provide for them, and you have this opportunity to go, damn, all probably he had to have to eat his beans and rice, and
right.
the kilo of beans keeps rising, the kilo of tortillas keeps rising,
Yeah,
and you don't have enough, so you're thinking, one shot deal. I'll walk away, but sadly is once they have you, you're theirs.
Yeah. Dang.
So would I do it if I had a family I had to feed? Probably.
I mean,
I'm
not a mathematician, but that would be the equivalent of somebody offering me $50,000 to go pull a car over.
Sure.
And
then you walk away. That's it.
A lot of money.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
So I could understand they're judging. Well, what am I going to do? That they have to make that judgment call right then and there.
Yeah.
Because they have a saying, and it's called plata or plomo.
Okay.
And it's either silver or lead.
Oh.
Yeah. So
yeah,
either you get paid or you get your body filled with lead.
Damn.
Yeah. There's no yes or no. Hey, okay, no big deal. We'll let you go. No, it's too.
So it's like getting paid is just a benefit of not dying.
Correct. Yes. And then the sadly thing is you're stuck.
Yeah.
Because they don't come after you; they come after your family.
Yeah.
And then they'll kill your family in front of you, or show you a videotape of what they did to your children, and then they kill you.
Did you sit through that class? We had a class at...
No, but I heard about it.
Holy shit.
It's pretty intense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they show, for those listening, they show, we went through this class. I want to say it was an ATF guy. It was either ATF or DEA.
I think it was DEA.
Maybe it's DEA. And it's nothing but talking about cartels and all the cartel stuff and the stuff that they would do to send a message. And like he was saying, they don't just kill you. They will kill you, but they're going to kill your family first.
And your dog.
And your dog.
They don't mess around.
I'm not talking like your adult children or any of that. Like your infants, your all of it. I mean,
yeah.
And they it's almost like they watched movies to find the most creative way to torture you.
Right.
Like some of the stuff I saw was like peeling your skin off of your face while you're still alive, burying you up to your neck, and then all sorts of crazy.
Yeah, it's shit. Yeah, it's horrible. Yeah. Horrible stuff.
Yeah. So the cartels don't mess around. So I get it.
Yeah.
I still don't know why it's been so hard for them to curb that.
Well, when you don't have the backing of the government.
Yeah.
And the government's in on it.
I wish they'd let us buy them. Can we do
something,
that?
right?
Like, let us buy the country.
Yeah, it would be good.
That'd be awesome.
But the U.S. is also involved.
Oh, okay.
How can you not?
Yeah.
There's stories where it had to be stopped because they're prosecuting. The U.S. goes, no, don't prosecute this guy. This guy. Yeah, but this guy's a bigger fish because he's, nope. Same thing would happen with the cartel back in the Colombia days of Pablo Escobar.
Yeah.
It was the Reagan administration who was allowing the Colombians to sell cocaine in exchange for weapons for the Sandinistas.
Oh.
And so the guy who took the fall was Ollie North.
Okay.
So they protected Reagan. He said, no, he's protected. He had no idea what was going on. This is a wild guy, Ollie North, but he knew.
Yeah.
So they told the cartel, okay, knock it off. That's it. It ends. And Pablo Escobar goes, no, it ain't. I'm still the king. I say what I say. So there's two photos of him shot on the roof. One, CIA's kneeling down with them, with their freshly killed. And then the other one's the Colombians. And so they're saying, "Oh, we took the shot, but we're giving you Colombia the credit for taking Pablo Escobar down."
Oh shit.
Yeah, so there's a lot of little things that yeah,
That's
that the
deeper than
U.S. was
my-
that the U.S. was involved with, and no, I think every government's pretty much dirty.
Because I love going to Mexico. I've been a few times. Latest was in April. We went to Puerto Vallarta, and then I find out later that cartel had pushed pretty damn close. It wasn't Puerto Vallarta, but surrounding area,
Little town there.
yeah. And I'm like, dude, there's not going to be any place left if they
Yeah.
keep taking over the country.
Well, yeah, it's saying the government allows it to. Like they released Chapo's son,
Yeah,
and the president calls and said, "Let him go."
yeah,
There's an issue there.
yeah,
So
for sure.
yeah.
That's
Too bad.
crazy.
It's a gorgeous country.
Yeah,
Good people.
I want to do like we do like Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know,
true.
that'd be awesome.
It'd be great.
We could help fix things, and
But I think it's too much money involved.
yeah.
It's sad.
Then the border we have to watch is like that big.
True. I agree.
We have to.
We get more control.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Did you see
absolutely.
that? The 6,000 Haitians.
Yes. That's insane.
How do 6,000 Haitians get there?
I don't know.
I'm not a conspiracy theorist guy, but
There's
if it would have been Hispanic, Mexicans, whatever, right there,
It's
I
understandable.
get it.
But Haitians.
Haitians?
Yeah.
That's weird.
That's all from the Caribbean.
Yeah. Like, it's not like Cubans going to Miami.
Right.
Where you can still kind of see the shore.
Yeah. No, they're being piped in. Through.
Yeah. Like somebody
Yeah.
got you here.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's all about money.
Dude.
Yeah.
I don't get it. And now they're trying to portray those DPS or who was it? It was a border
Patrol.
Yeah, they're on horseback.
The terrain.
Yeah.
It's did it back in the West.
Yeah.
It's still applicable now, I think. And,
tried.
and it wasn't a whip.
No, it was a horse ring.
It was a horse ring.
And then they showed the pictures from the other angles. He wasn't being even be touched with it.
But it's just these liberals who,
I don't get
and
the
it's just, who do you care? I understand respecting people's rights,
Yeah.
human rights.
Yeah.
I totally get it. But there has to be a line drawn in the sand.
And I think that's most people's motivation for getting upset is because it's the human aspect. They
Correct.
want people, but you're getting mad about something that didn't occur.
Correct.
And I try to look at it from the law enforcement perspective when I tell people, I'm like, look, here's the options that they legally had. Deadly force,
Right.
because they're
Absolutely.
that's a foreign invader.
Absolutely.
So that's a possibility. A dog, they could have let dogs loose. A baton, pepper spray, a taser. All of these
Right.
options. The only thing they did was use their hands
Right.
and the bodies of horses to get there.
Right.
Maybe bump them.
But their horses are trained for that.
And their horses are trained for that. Yeah.
So it's not like they trampled over them.
Right.
You know what I'm
they
saying?
weren't being,
No.
Yeah, they weren't being stomped. They were,
No.
if any, the horses are used as a barrier.
Correct.
And that's it. And we use them in riot control here in the States.
Sure.
I've been knocked over by the horses when we went to the Republican National Convention in Cleveland.
Right.
The horses were being used as a fence, and I wasn't paying attention like I should have, and the guy turned the horse, like,
Right.
and the butt just nailed me. Boom, and I tipped over. I was on the bike too close, and that was my fault.
They're powerful animals.
Yeah. So when I watched it, I'm just concerned about the use of force.
Sure.
I know what the options are.
Right.
And I know what I saw.
But see, that's because you're a cop
Yes.
and you're trained that way.
Right.
But folks don't see that.
Yeah. I truly, if people want to listen to me as some sort of instructor or use of force expert, whatever it is, when I look at it, I see all these options way up here, and they use the lowest thing possible.
Correct.
And that's their
I don't know
hands.
what you mean by. I see all these options. We are here.
Wow.
Siri.
How about a web search for it?
I have a girl with a Australian accent talking to me.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
I typically
you have
do.
that guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's on the computer. I don't.
Oh, okay.
I don't use Siri. On
Okay.
there, so Siri off. Okay.
Nosy bastard.
Yeah, they probably listen.
Yeah, I was thinking, I saw the guy who died. The guy who recorded Rodney King incident.
Oh, really?
He died, I think, yesterday or today. I think it was yesterday.
That's crazy.
So imagine the cops came to his house the next day.
Yeah.
and confiscated this video and the camera,
Yeah.
right? Looking at it back now, was it really their fault? Or was it just their training at that time? That when you told not to move, baton strikes.
Right.
I know we've advanced in how to use the use of force and stuff like that, but I'm thinking, was it their fault?
Yeah.
He kept moving. I'm not saying it didn't look pretty.
Yeah.
You know, it looked absolutely horrible.
Yeah.
But
And a lot of good things came from it.
sure,
You know, but it's one of those things too, when people want to talk about stuff that used to go down, it also was approved. Like we don't,
correct.
it's backed. Like
Right.
people didn't care until they could see it.
Right.
So
And that's the issue.
it's just like arguing with people online.
Online, they don't. Yeah.
Yeah, you're not going to talk that way to people
Correct.
to their face. Most people
Right.
won't. There are some outliers, and it's the same thing when you're letting your police do
Right.
whatever they want to do
Sure.
or however they need to enforce the law.
It's an ugly thing.
But then when you start to see it and that's not your lifestyle,
Right.
now you're like, what the fuck?
Right.
You know?
Sure.
So I get it.
There's I forget who said it. There was a quote saying that it's an ugly business. We do the job that you won't or can't do.
Yeah.
It's an ugly thing.
Yep.
It's violence. And I'm telling you, I've been mistreated by cops in LA growing up there, you know. Never in Chicago. LA, yes. My dad also got mistreated by the LAPD. But that didn't make me hate him.
Right. Maybe just that one.
Maybe just that one. Say, you know what I'm saying? Hey, that's kind of a jerk.
Yeah.
But then, you know, I'm thinking, oh, maybe I should join to make the, you know, do a little change and see what it's like. But I've always been pro cop.
Yeah.
Always been pro police.
Yeah.
And I always knew there's a reason why they did things. It doesn't look pretty,
Right.
but they do what they have to do. And until you're in that situation is when people realize, oh, that's why.
This is one of the things I love about police work is that we do the job that we're approved to do. The people who we work for and serve come up and say, I don't like this. Yes, there's always a difference of opinion, but eventually changes happen. It may not be overnight, but Rodney King, all right, I want you guys to have cameras in the car. Boom.
Right.
Cameras in the car. Okay. Keep going. You guys need something other than just a gun and a flashlight. Okay. Now we have batons and tasers.
Right.
Okay. Now we got pepper spray. We keep
Evolving.
evolving because this is what the people are wanting from us.
Sure.
Then the Michael Brown thing happens, which even though it was all laced in lies and it was proven, body cams came out of that. So,
Right.
okay, cool. The bullshit story actually, in my opinion, worked out for something awesome.
Correct.
I love body cameras. And just like anybody, we're not unique when it comes to change. Most people, when they get comfortable in a job that
Right.
they do, especially if they like what they do,
Sure.
change sucks. Nobody wants
Sure,
to have to change.
absolutely.
So you'll always get that.
And it's going to
Resistance.
continue.
Yeah.
And it's continue.
And so right now, it's one of the questions I want to ask you. Where do you see the change happening now? Body cams were the big change. That's our latest big change. Where do you see us changing now?
Well, I think eventually, in some time in the future, I don't know how long, we're going to go back to actual policing
Yeah.
because it's getting out of hand.
Yeah.
We've been told not to do so many things that we used to do and control the situation and keep people safe. Where the other side of the group is just getting more and more, pushing the envelope more and more and more. I think we're going to go back to what we used to do
Yeah.
because we have everything.
Yeah.
Whether it be new things to try out, sure.
Yep.
But now we have de-escalation classes we got to take, which I think it's important. But we've been doing that
Yeah.
from day one.
It was called, it's a different name. But
Sure.
The one before this was verbal judo.
Correct.
That's what it was called.
And
before.
it's the same thing. We're just rehashing it.
Yep.
And we all do. I mean, a good cop will always try to de-escalate things, calm things down,
Yeah.
you know, and if it doesn't, then you go to your tools.
Not just a good cop, but an experienced.
Correct.
because
Correct.
an inexperienced cop,
Absolutely.
they want that.
Sure.
They just may not be able to achieve it.
Right. And then for a while there, we weren't teaching, and they told us distraction strikes. Mm-hmm. And I love to slap a guy.
Yeah.
I love to. I love it. Right.
Yeah.
And my question is, if I know they told us in the academy twice, we don't know, we tell them more than twice, get your hands in your pocket, turn around.
Yeah.
Turn around. And then as I'm approaching the person, I ask a simple, silly question. That's going to go, what? Like, hey, man, you like the Three Stooges? You know, like,
Yeah.
what? Then I know, when I know he's going to go
Yeah.
on the ground or something.
I always try to get them to look up.
Oh,
Like, you're going to jail, and you know why I know you're going to jail? Because that helicopter is going to get you.
oh, nice.
And they're like, what?
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. See, and that, you get different things. So, but it's what we do. And to me, it's easier just going to go around and afterwards be nice to them.
Yeah.
We try, hey, I'm sorry, but
Ain't personal.
you know, that's it.
Yeah.
You can call me a name in the book, but who's in the back seat?
Yep. Yeah. Your time to fight's in court.
Right. And that's
And
it.
I think people have lost sight of that. They think they can argue
Yeah.
with you on the roadside
True.
or anywhere other than the
Well,
court.
it's because of what they've seen other cities do.
Yeah.
You know, and for a while now, they quit. I think the academy went away from that. Mm-hmm. And so the newer officers were afraid to go hands-on, and they went to the tools right away. Mm-hmm. And that's where people were going, whoa, he just jaywalking, you tased him.
Yeah.
Oh, I told him 3 times. You know, so it's dealing with folks that I think it's a big important that we need to go back to that.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
you know.
Social skills go a long way. I've talked about it several times on here. It's just one of the things that we have no way of testing for.
Huh. That's true.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
we
that's
do
true.
every test on this on psychological, medical,
Right.
physical.
But there's got to be some bright
how do you-
genius can come up with the test.
I need some sort of social skill test,
Right.
you know?
Because some guys just don't know how to talk to people.
Right. Yeah. I almost would think, since we're going to fix the world right here,
I've already fixed it, bro.
I almost want to tell somebody, hey, your part of your interview process is we're going to bring in an officer, off-duty officer, and your job is to hold a conversation with him for 10 minutes, and we're going to record it. And
Just to see.
And it'll be a subjective test, but the panel can sit there and go, okay, this dude, because you can answer a question from a panel,
Correct.
and seem like you're all there.
Right.
And I think that's what we've gone off of for a long time. But you can watch, I don't want to call them weirdos, but socially inept people dig themselves in a hole
Yes.
real quick
Correct.
if you give them a long enough time
Sure.
to start talking. I think 10 minutes is
Right.
Is
Because
plenty.
they get awkward and
Yeah.
they don't know how to
You could even give them a topic. I don't care, but I would rather it be in their
just
control.
Yeah, I agree.
You know what I mean?
That's interesting. That'd be kind of like a cool little test to do.
Right. And then it can't be you can't depend the whole process on that, I guess.
No,
to
but
be
you're
fair,
able to
but-
see who does well.
Yeah.
You know, in a verbal as opposed to using your phone
Right.
or Snapchats and this and that, which is instant.
Because the officers get in trouble with that 0 to 5 year officer, and it's typically because their verbal skills, their social skills fail.
Right.
They end up reaching a point and they can't get them where they're
Right. I mean,
way
it's
out of
happened to me when you just lose it.
yeah.
They touch that nerve and you go, what did they say? You know, you go, good, you know, and you lose your cool.
Yep.
But that's just a human being. Being a cop is not easy.
Yeah.
You know, this folks understand that we go from being civilians to 8 to 9 months in the academy, and then they give you a badge and gun, and you're supposed to know everything.
Yeah.
You know, and my first call was, I look old, so they thought I was there for a while. So that I took that to advantage.
Yeah.
And they're going, officer, officer, officer. And I'm like looking around like, oh, me.
Me,
You
yeah.
know what I'm saying?
I'm that guy. Yeah.
And folks don't think that it's night and day. I mean, you just
Yeah.
right into the deep side of the pool. And it's not like any other job. And that's what I try to express to people, tell folks, it's not what you think. It is I mean, we get what the average person gets 2 critical incidents in their lifespan.
Mm-hmm.
An officer gets 800 in 20 years.
Yeah.
You know, it's so if you look at that and analyze that, you're thinking, dang.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's wear and tear in our body.
The funny thing is when we start, it doesn't matter how old we are, but when
Are you just saying that because I'm 58?
Yes.
Okay, thanks.
When we start out, we all have the same things running through our head. And so from an outside looking in perspective, they're like, all you got to do is talk to people. If you guys just learn how to talk to people, that's true. But when I just talk to somebody, it's just you and me right now.
Right.
But when I talk to you and I'm in uniform, and while you're talking, I'm trying to process what you're doing, what you're saying, but I'm also trying to figure out what laws have been broken, what
Right.
the GOs say, where's my cover.
You're assessing so much information.
Yes, there's
and make a decision, and it's not, you know, it's exhausting.
Right.
Mentally,
Yep.
it's exhausting, and then you go home,
Yep.
you know, and you just want to unwind. And
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but I hate crowds.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
I don't like crowds. They freak me out.
I don't like cruises. The wife wants me to go on a cruise. We go on a Disney cruise, and I am in hell the whole time.
Really?
The only time I enjoyed myself was when we got off the boat and we're on the islands and stuff.
What kind of ships do you get on, sir?
Yeah, I went on a Disney cruise. The
That's
Disney Star Wars cruise.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
It ain't for everybody. I love them.
So this is what I learned about myself. I like the stops,
Right.
but on the ship itself, I'm miserable. So
Really?
yeah, it's just too many people. I don't like the idea of crowd food. I don't,
Right.
things like that. So we go to these islands, and I'm like, this is off St. Augustine, or not St. Augustine.
That's the grass.
Yeah, St. Martin, Thomas.
Yeah.
And we were out there, and, I'm like, this is the life. Like, I like this. I'm the asshole that picks up my chair and I put it in the water. Like,
Right.
I'm bringing it all the way out there.
Right,
and I'm
right.
like, this is perfect.
Right.
Like, this is what I want. I got nobody around me. I got fish tacos right over there
Right.
cooking. I got somebody bringing me drinks.
Perfect.
That's the life. So for me, that's what I wanted. So now when we vacation, we go to a island.
Okay, gotcha. Wow. Yeah. See, I love them. My wife loves them. And
I'm a foodie like you. I want the local cuisines.
Right.
I don't want the ship food because
Correct.
you'll get on the ship.
it's all bland and it's strictly to one palate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Crab, steak. I can tell you what's going to be on the ship.
Right.
Chicken.
Yeah.
There's going to be pizza for the kids. There's
Yeah,
going to
right.
be grilled cheese. Okay, cool. I get that.
Yeah, but you want the local
So
fare.
I want the local food. When I go, I want to look at it and go, ooh, I don't know
Yeah.
if I'm going to eat it. That's what I like.
See, I like the cruises because you got experiment a few stops.
Mm-hmm.
And if I enjoy that stop, then we do a 2-week stay
Yeah.
because I've already been there.
But I get stressed out because I'm under a time limit. And I got this fear of getting left behind in a
Well, the
foreign
secret
country.
is doing excursion with the ship.
Yes.
They will not leave you.
Yes,
and
that's
if they
true.
do, they fly you from one to the next port.
Oh.
Yes, sir.
Oh, I
it's
didn't
on
know
their
that.
dime. Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. But if you're gambling, if you go with the local crew,
And see, I'm that douchebag because I'm like,
you want to pay cheaper prices.
I want the experience. I don't want the.
Yeah, but they're pretty good about that.
Yeah, I don't want the fluff. I want.
No, gotcha.
Yeah.
You want the tradition. Yeah, I got
We went on. We paid to go to the pirate bars, and that was like.
Oh, how cool!
Yeah, so that was pretty fun.
Oh, that is pretty
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah, I went to all the pirate bars, and they had just all sorts of history and stuff. I like the history and whatnot.
See, I did that in Russia.
You went to Russia?
Went to Russia, Leningrad,
Dude, you've had like the craziest
and
life.
the crazy in it. And we this Russian chick.
Are you a spy?
No, she was hot,
Okay.
and she asked us.
Tall, blonde, blue eyes?
No, she was brunette.
Okay.
Just beautiful. And she asked us, "Hey, you guys want to go drink vodka with me?"
How'd she say it though? Vodka?
I mean, it's just that accent that scares you.
Yeah.
It's not sexy at all.
No.
You know, saying like, oh,
kind of like a Russian girl or Australian girl.
Yeah,
It's a little too harsh for me.
Yeah, no, yeah, I've never
not for
gotten
me.
into. No, neither for me. And so me and my kid went,
No shit.
And we ate food, pickled stuff that they use, and you say your toast and you exhale, and then after you you take your shot of the vodka, you sniff your food, and then you eat it.
Okay.
After 6 shots, I had no idea where I was, but I was singing Russian songs with this lady.
Okay.
And it was a blast.
Now, how hard was it to get into that country?
Very.
I figured.
Yeah, you have to get Americans need a visa.
Yeah.
And if you don't have a visa, you're not getting off. There's no way to let you in. And you have to have a tour to let you.
Oh.
Yeah, so this lady goes, I know somebody. Would you like? Absolutely. Because you go meet the local fair and they take you away from the tourist stuff. And then coming in, I asked, I was trying to be a smart ass because I always carry patches with me and I give to the local cops and stuff like that. And this was a pretty blonde customs Russian lady. And she goes, you police?
Yeah.
I went, what the hell? And that was stupid. And I said, would KGB following me? Wrong answer.
Yeah.
Wrong answer. She presses this button, and both doors, there's 2 doors to my right and left, they slam shut. And I'm alone in this cubicle, and she's looking at me through a glass. There is a muscle in your butthole. It's called the sphincter. Sphincter.
Yeah.
Well, when you're in such
That's
fear.
the Egyptian muscle.
Yes. Nice. I like that. When you're in fear, uncontrollably fear, your sphincter starts puckering.
We call it quivering.
Yes. Yeah. I know, but Mexicans do this to you. Hey, yeah, you scared? And now I know why.
You know why.
Because it puckers. All I heard was I heard my butthole talk to me.
Yeah, okay.
It was, I was so scared. And this big Russian guy comes in there and he starts talking to her. And I'm going, holy shit, I'm going to Siberia.
Yeah, yeah.
And then he looks at me and I, like a little girl that I am, I reached into and took out a patch and I said, this is for you.
Yeah.
And he goes, what's this? I said, I'm a police officer. I'm sorry. And he was, duh. Walked out, let me out.
Oh.
But it freaked the hell out of me.
Damn.
Yeah.
Don't cause an international incident.
No, but I'm still stupid. I'll do it again just to get a laugh.
Yeah, you didn't get a laugh.
No, I didn't.
From them. Got a laugh here. You slow played it.
Yeah.
You slow played it.
Yeah,
It was for the long
I tell you
laugh.
what. Yeah, it
okay.
was.
Fuck.
It was spooky,
Dude.
but yeah,
I want to go there. I just want to say that I've went.
it's badass.
We're still not over the island stuff, though. We had a Turks and Caicos trip planned. That was supposed to be the big trip before my wife started nursing school. COVID hit. So it got pushed, and then it got pushed again.
Right.
Now she's in school. Now it got pushed. We're trying to find a gap that we can get it, and we're like...
Wow. Well, the more you wait, the better.
Yeah.
I think you better chances of going.
Luckily, COVID was on an uptick, and the island was closed down again because that gave us a 100% reimbursement.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
What cruise line?
It wasn't a cruise.
Oh.
It would have been on some hotel there.
Ah,
on the
gotcha.
It's like one of those ones that has a French quarter, an Italian quarter. It's something cool like that.
Oh,
So
gotcha.
it's got like 4 different quarters that are different.
Like St. Martin is I think
The Dutch and
the Dutch and the French.
French, yeah.
French, yeah. Yeah.
So I wasn't a big fan of St. Martin, by the way.
I just went to Maho Beach.
See?
There it is again.
It came back on that time,
Yeah,
though.
that's Satan.
I did do that.
No, it's possessed.
So,
I just went to Maho Beach.
Mahu?
Maho Beach. That's where the planes come in.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Right
Everybody
above
watches
it.
them. Yeah.
That's the only place I went
Did
to.
you do it?
Oh, hell yeah, I did.
Could you feel it?
Yes.
Oh, that'd be kind
I
of
feel the heat, and it's just a wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know who originated that?
Who?
Wayne's World. Remember? When they're out in the airfield and they're like, what?
You watch too much movies.
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, had you joined the military, you would know that is pretty much 3/4 of your career is just quoting movies. Yeah. So, and I brought that. A lot of people bring that into police work. So, a lot of times though, it sucks when you falls on deaf ears. You're like, just quoting movies. I was gonna do it earlier when you were talking about your hand was in there,
Right.
and I was like, oh, you're a hand model like George Costanza.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
Remember that?
Yes, sir. Yeah. Did I tell you I bumped into Cosmo Kramer? Yes, sir. I was in L.A. and I had my little dog with me.
Was that before his race?
Yes, it was after.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah,
it was after.
It was after. And we took a little dog, and she had like a spine problem, so she couldn't walk. So we had a little carriage, a little dog carriage, and we're going down Chinatown, and I see him, but I don't go over to him because with his wife and his kid, and he's real curious, and he comes up to me with that Kramer look, and I'm going, holy crap, you know.
Yeah.
He goes, hey, what you got in there? Oh, it's my dog. It's Mafia. Now, also known as the Beast. He goes, the Beast, huh? So I look at him. She looks. We start talking for about 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And then he goes, what are you doing? Oh, I used to live here, but I'm a police officer, in a certain city in Texas. And he goes, oh, how cool. All right, my kid loves cops. Come over here. So he brings his kid over there. And we're talking. Then, 15, 20 minutes, he walks away. We separate, keep going, looking at Chinatown. And then he finds me again.
Oh,
And he talks to me for another 30 minutes.
really?
Just about life, about things, and just super nice guy. And finally I said, listen, I don't want to be like a regular fan, but I've been a big fan of you since the movie UHF.
Oh,
Have you ever seen the movie
Yeah.
UHF? That was his first big break.
really?
And he gets this smile on his face. And he goes, man, that's awesome. Thank you so much. And said, can I get a pic with you? He goes, absolutely. So we got a selfie.
Nice.
Yeah, super cool
No
guy.
shit.
Yeah, super cool guy.
Hey, you didn't mention Seinfeld at all?
No, I didn't.
Dang.
No, I didn't.
That was that's the only sitcom I can honestly say that I watched
I agree.
every episode.
I agree.
A million times.
Netflix has it not coming out.
Really?
Yeah, season 1.
No shit.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch that
finally
over.
let it go.
Yeah.
It's been holding on.
Because he's going to make more money off of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bastard.
Yeah. I met him too.
Really, Jerry?
Yeah. Yeah. He's walking by with George Wallace, the comedian.
Yeah.
And I said, hey, boys. And he stops and looks at me in disgust. And he keeps on walking.
Doesn't?
Yeah. He's like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
So-
I saw this video. They're walking the red carpet and they're doing their interviews and stuff. And it's Jerry Seinfeld. And I want to say it was Kesha, some singer, comes up and he's like, oh my God, can I get a hug? And he's like, oh, no. And she's like, oh, are you serious? And he sticks with it.
Really?
He's like, no, thanks. Like,
Wow,
he has no idea who she is, though.
Ah.
And so she's like, oh, and she leaves. And he goes, who is that? They're like, oh, that was Kesha. He goes, Didn't give a shit.
Yeah, he just, and I cut off, this is my favorite one. I cut off Clint Eastwood on the freeway.
Oh.
I was late to my radio job in Hollywood, and I'm going to 101, and I'm getting off the Hollywood Bowl exit. Mm-hmm. And there's this red Dodge pickup truck then in front of me. And I had to get over to the exit lane on the right, and I zoomed by him, and it was really close. And I looked back in the rearview mirror and go, oh, sorry. And it was him, and he gave me that squinty eye look.
Did he do the...
No, that's way before Gran Torino. And I said, holy crap, that's Clint Eastwood. Slowed up on the off ramp, got back on the freeway, drove past him, and I went, give him the big thumbs up. And he just looks at me and just shakes his head.
Goddamn kids.
Oh my God. I was so ecstatic.
God, I just would have tried to make him call me a punk.
I know, right?
Right?
God, so awesome.
That is awesome. Dang. I ran into Eric Clapton the other day. I worked the concert.
Really?
Yeah.
How cool.
Yeah. I was from you to me away. I didn't say nothing. He was talking to somebody, so I wasn't trying to be that guy.
He's old now, isn't he?
76.
Damn.
But when he was on stage, he didn't slow down.
Wow.
Stood the whole... Like, I expected him to just be sitting in a chair. Like,
Right.
I'm like, he's 76. Like, you never know.
No
So,
kidding.
I mean, you're 68, still moving around, so...
58, sir.
58, my bad.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, but no, he's he was wailing. I mean,
Wow.
fingers. There's no slowdown on him at all.
Wow.
So it was cool. It was him and I don't remember the other guy. He wasn't that good. But yeah, no.
How
Eric
cool.
Clapton. And then I worked the Blue Blade concert last night.
Hmm?
And
Is that a country guy?
Michael Bublé. He's more like a
Oh,
Sinatra
yeah.
style.
The crooner type of guy.
Yeah.
Bublé,
Yeah.
Goobly, yeah, okay.
Yeah, he's awesome. So I'm a big fan of Michael Bublé. I like his stuff. So to see his, I was telling my wife, she was like, we got to go to one of his concerts because it looked like a blast. You know, like you know how it is working.
Right.
You get to peek in and
Sure.
go out peek in. So I kept peeking, but the audience was laughing a lot. So he's
a funny guy.
He must have a lot of entertainment.
What did he sing?
All of his classics. And
Yeah, but
then
where? What?
Dickey's Arena.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, he sang all his classics, and then he covered a lot of songs.
Okay.
So a lot of classic, you know, Sinatra. Yeah, he
yeah.
probably sang 2 Sinatra songs.
Right.
But that's his timing and cadence,
Sure.
and that's just his style.
Right.
So, I mean, he had an orchestra behind him.
Yeah, I bet.
And I think a lot of them were like TCU students.
Oh, really?
Like band members. And
How cool.
they wailed, man. I'm talking, you know, violins and trumpets. And
That's pretty cool.
yeah, it was nice.
Wow.
It was a cool concert.
I got tickets to go see Elton John next year if he doesn't die.
yeah, he's
He's up there.
he's still putting on concerts.
Yeah, he had so many farewell concerts back in the 80s.
Yeah.
I remember the farewell Yellow Brick Road concert.
I'm still waiting
And
for
it's still,
George Strait's the same.
I'm not a big country guy. I'm sorry.
No, I like it all.
No.
Yeah.
Okay. Old country like Willie,
Okay.
I dig.
Yeah.
That's just traditional stuff you don't mess with.
Conway Twitty.
Nope.
No?
Just
Too-
Willie.
too- okay.
Yeah, just too country for me. I just,
gotcha.
I tuned out. Never
Yeah.
mind. I get violent.
Ooh.
Yeah, so let's walk away from there slowly.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like everything though. I like rap to. I couldn't give you classical song names, but if I'm studying for something, I do the old school, like listen to some classical music.
Oh,
that
nice.
Doesn't have words, you know. Or
Nice.
I like everything.
Huh.
Shoot, Dowdy, one of the guys I work with, he's into that metalcore stuff.
Right. He's
I mean, it's like scary music.
yeah, he's a devil worshiper.
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
Satanist.
but
Does he
he's-
listen to the show?
I don't know. I don't think he does.
Okay.
He's got too many kids. He ain't have
Yeah.
time. He does not have time. He needs that music to prepare,
go to sleep.
to prepare for home.
Oh, wow.
On his way back from home, or on his way back from work, and then coming to work, he probably needs something.
Holy
just-
gamoly. Because I listened to it, just my ears were bleeding, and I had to go to church
Oh,
right after.
dang.
Yeah.
Well, I respect the drummers. On
Yeah,
that
they're,
stuff.
I think they're in seizures.
Yeah, because it's like 600 beats
Yeah,
a second.
they're
I don't
amazing.
know how they do that.
Yeah,
So that's what I like. I like when it's got a good drummer.
Right.
So I've noticed. He's like, you noticed all the songs you like, right? And I'm like, what about him? He's like, "It's good drumming. He's a drummer.
he's a drummer. Yeah,
Yeah. And I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense.
No, I'm a Beatle freak, and that's it.
Okay. Have
Big
you watched that
Beatle
Beatles movie
Which one?
where it's all their songs and they sing the songs, but it's a movie? Like, yeah, it's trippy.
Is it the actual Beatles?
It's the Beatles lyrics. It's not the Beatles themselves. It's a movie based on the Beatles lyrics.
Is it called Yesterday?
I don't know.
Where the guy with the people forget who the Beatles were, and he's
No, not that.
Okay,
This is specifically, it's the Beatles lyrics. It's not the Beatles themselves.
Huh.
The Beatles aren't even involved in the movie, I don't think.
wow.
But it's just their lyrics from all of their songs. Not all of them, but
What movie is this?
I don't know the name of it. And we're filming with one of my phones, so I
Okay.
can't look it
No,
up.
because Paul McCartney waved at my wife once after this concert.
Dang,
He just waved. She's looking at him, and
that's crazy, because
waved
that's
at
when you had
each
your
other.
first kid.
Yeah.
The day after you found out she was pregnant.
back in the 60s. No, I went to Liverpool,
Okay.
and I went through, their houses, and there is a video. What's that one guy who does that karaoke in the car? He's this British comedian.
Oh, yeah. Not Gordon Ramsay. I almost said Gordon Ramsay.
That's the chef.
That's the
sir.
chef.
Yeah.
The plump fella.
Plump guy. Yeah.
I know who you're talking
well,
about.
we were there the next day when McCartney was there, and he had signed his name on Penny Lane, Paul McCartney.
Okay.
And then I saw the video, and I remember seeing the video prior to, and I said, "Oh my gosh, that's where he signed it." And I saw his name there. I said, there it is. And I should have put my name under his, because you could.
Oh.
Because now they have a plaque or like a plexiglass protecting it.
Oh, really?
So my name would have been there forever.
What year was this?
2016.
And they just had. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because he was riding around Liverpool.
That's awesome.
And
where
it was, I mean, I'm like in Mecca.
missed opportunity, bro.
I know.
So I'm still going back to the fact
Yes.
that you're a spy.
Yes, sir.
Because now you've been to Liverpool, you've been to Russia, Mexico, what other countries have we gone
Amsterdam,
to? Yeah,
France, Spain, Morocco.
you are not helping your cause, sir.
I know. I highly recommend Morocco.
Okay,
Cheap, and they love people there.
really?
Yes. The best food I've ever had. Super, super cheap. And you can get on these camels and go to the Sahara and camp out in the desert.
Now, what year did you go there?
I was there in 2016.
Okay, so recently.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just like, because I've been told before, like, oh man, things are so cheap there. We go,
No.
and it's expensive. And then I go back, I'm like, you said things were cheap.
Yeah, no.
Like, it was expensive.
No,
When did you go there? And
Morocco-
I'm like 73. And I was like,
No, actually, it's very cheap
yeah,
and good food, and people are so nice. I mean, they're freaking nice.
I'm gonna write that one down.
Yeah,
Dude.
Tangier. You got to go to Tangier.
Morocco, Tangier.
But you got these cool ass cabins in the desert, and you go by camel,
yeah,
and there's no lights to affect the stars,
yeah.
and you're like,
Oh yeah, so you no light pollution at
no.
all. Yeah,
And there's billions and billions. Now, growing up in the 70s in the Midwest, I was still able to see the
Yeah.
stars. Did you growing up?
not in Michigan.
Okay.
But when I got stationed in Montana, yes.
Okay. See, so that would take me back as a kid and go, oh my gosh, you forget how gorgeous it is. And you sit there and they bring you mint tea.
Yeah.
And you sit there and it's just one of them. You eat lamb with your hands on the, it's fantastic.
I take that back. I did. It wasn't. I grew up in Flint, so I'm in a city. But when we would go
Outside.
vacation to the Upper Peninsula,
Right.
Or Traverse
Yeah, because I figured you would because it's pretty country up
Yeah,
there.
yeah. You could see the Northern Lights and
Yeah.
all that stuff. And then
Wow.
learned that you could see the Northern Lights up in Montana. So
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
so cool.
Yeah.
So you're able to experience that stuff. And I'm telling you, yeah, to me, learning about culture and its people, that there's a quote
over
by-
their food,
Yes.
that's the best.
And that, because you talk and they're happy that you're there. They feel honored
Yeah,
that you're not stuck in the hotel eating American made
Yeah.
tourist food. So we ventured out to the Medina, which I highly recommend, but you take someone with you because you'll get lost.
Okay.
It's like a labyrinth. There's no way you'll ever escape.
what is it?
It's a little town within the town,
Mm-hmm.
but it's encircled with a giant wall. And it's like a maze of streets.
Really?
And you can't see because there's like 4 or 5 story buildings.
Uh-huh.
And you're walking and you can't, okay, I'll make a left and a right and I know where I'm at. Nope. You're lost.
Wow.
And there's shops and restaurants and the local folk come out at night. Mm-hmm. And it's spooky, but so much fun, like Indiana Jones,
Okay.
going through the little towns, but at night.
Nice.
And you go to this restaurant and they feed you and like, what?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm telling you, I need to go back, at least spend 2 weeks there.
2 weeks.
Yes, it is phenomenal.
So that's okay.
Yeah, I highly recommend it.
All right.
Highly recommend
I'm
it.
gonna try that out. So besides you being a spy,
Yeah.
because I'm definitely getting a spy vibe from you.
Yeah.
I mean, you got into Russia. It's not easy to do. It's fucking weird.
I told him I was Mexican, so Mexicans are allowed.
Oh, yeah. You got to get a jail-free card with that.
Yeah.
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 You're probably like, how the fuck did he
How
know
the
that?
hell?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a little tricky.
It says beans on his passport.
Beans on his passport. He's got to be a Mexican. He's no threat to us.
So let's jump back. Part of the show is educating people, trying to bridge the gap with the community and the police. Right. You are a subject matter expert now. Why are you a subject matter expert?
Tell me.
Because you're a neighborhood patrol officer.
yes, you're
That
absolutely
is
right.
your job.
Yeah, it is.
I'm doing your job in this podcast,
Wow, you are.
right?
Yeah.
I mean, because they wouldn't hire me. I put in for MPO 3 times.
Really?
Yeah, not on East, but
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Well,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, 3
No.
times.
Wow. No kidding.
Yeah, and here I am advocating for the community again.
It's a unique job.
Right?
It's during whatever was happening last year. You know, with all those police and the choking of, I'm sorry.
George.
Yes, George Floyd.
Yeah.
And knowing that I work in a predominantly black and Hispanic neighborhood, I'm telling you, I'll be honest, I was a little concerned of me working the special details that we would do. Mm-hmm. And receptive, how are they going to receive me now? Because they always see the uniform. They never see the person what's behind the badge.
Right.
And we're human. We laugh, we cry, we bleed, we die, just like anybody else. But they tend to forget that. And so because of being an NPO and all the hard work that's been building that bridge with the community, it's because we get that, that CCPD funding.
Right.
It's because they approve the raises, because the community loves the police in our city.
Yeah. And for those listening, the CCPD fund basically, no, it's fine. And I've explained it on here before, but you never know if this is somebody's first episode. So,
Sure.
The citizens vote every 5 years.
It's now every 10 years.
Okay.
The first time they went for 10.
But they were, up until recently, were voting every 4 or 5 years and voting for a half-cent tax, basically.
They tax themselves.
Yeah, they tax themselves for that money to go directly to the police. And
Correct.
with the CCPD fund vote, it's always been in the 80s, 90% approval rating,
Correct.
like passing rate, which is a thermometer for police, for that police department to say, okay, we're doing
Really good.
We're doing a good job
Right.
because we keep getting this high voting pass for this tax, because not many people want to tax themselves.
Correct.
Just for the cops.
Especially nowadays.
Right. And again, recently we had the CCPD fund vote, and apparently now it's every 10 years.
It's every 10 years the first time.
I don't know if I like that, but
Well, it's good for me because I'm retiring at 6.
Yeah.
So, because that money is one of the main contributors for the funding for the NPO program.
I mean, I won't lie. That is a great thing for the police. The fact that now they've only got to worry about it every 10 years.
Correct.
But outside looking in, for me, if I'm going to play devil's advocate, I use that as a thermometer of how we're doing.
You would have to.
Our performance.
Absolutely.
And now I got to wait 10 years to find out.
Well, you can do a little testing
You
between,
can.
little.
But every
I got you.
4 years or,
Sure. 5 years. Yeah.
5 years, that's
Sure.
it's a better
It makes sense.
better litmus test.
But for me, looking at further, I'm going, okay, at least I have another job as the units.
Yeah.
Because it covers other units as well.
Right.
So without that, what's 60 and I think $70 or $80 million a year
Yeah.
goes to police units, new equipment, and so forth. So I think it's a good cause, and I'm always appreciative of the citizens of where I patrol and serve. So it's important to me that with this program that we go as I was accepted really well. I was never mistreated. I was always offered food. My lunches are bought. Our dinners are bought by the citizens. Mm-hmm. When we go into restaurants, that's unheard of any other, even to our neighboring city.
Yeah.
It does not happen.
Yeah.
And they're like amazed that what?
Yeah.
So that to me, it makes me want to serve my folks even more.
Right.
And give them the good service that they deserve because they're basically paying for it,
Yeah. And I, correct me if I'm wrong, but
You're wrong.
Yeah. From your position, when you have a George Floyd or Michael Brown or Eric Gardner, any of these cases that happen, it hurts us. It hurts our feelings. I'll say that. It hurts our feelings even.
Sure.
Because we just did all this good stuff, and a cop that has nothing to do with me
Correct.
or our city or what we do, where we're at, we're going to get our own people yelling at us,
Sure.
our own citizens yelling at us.
Correct.
And you did all this groundwork trying to keep a good thing going, and we take it personal.
Right.
We take it personal because we're invested, emotionally invested.
Sure.
I'm emotionally invested. Like,
It's hard not to.
yeah, I know it's a fatal flaw. It's a flaw of mine, especially with this show. Like, I truly believe it's a good thing, and I think it's going to get better.
Right.
And when you see even little negative comments, I try not to look at any of them. I try
But you have to, because you know what? They're listening.
right.
So that's a good thing.
So when I get some of the negative stuff, all you have is cops. I'm like, listen.
What's the name of the show?
Yeah. And it's not going to stop with cops. I mean, but right now that's who it's easiest for me
Correct.
to get. I will get community leaders. I got Darty, that person you work with. He's supposed to get that female that rode with y'all that was kind of anti-cop, real big in the community. And then she ended up going to like a town hall meeting and was like, hey, it's not quite what I thought,
Right.
Like, so I want to get her on here. Brandy Camper's got a friend that was convicted for like 24 years falsely.
Wow.
And he was released. It was reversed or whatever you call that. So I want to get him on, hear his point of view of the criminal justice system, stuff like that. So.
Well, it's good to know. I mean, it's good to have it cover all the aspects. It's not just Baka. And I understand the folks listening to, but it's what we do. And when you said if one happens to be a jerk, of course it's going to affect you.
Yeah.
And the good thing about our NPO is that we have the capability of going out and being receptive to the concerns of the community and explain to them why it happened. Is it right or wrong? This is what happened.
Yeah.
This is how we're going to deal with it. We have a case right now that's about to go in the next couple of weeks, as you know. And, if that thing would have happened the other way around, there wouldn't have been an uproar because that person had the right to defend themselves.
Right. They both did.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's the problem here is, and I used to work in the media. The problem is the media.
Am I the media?
Kind of.
I'm kind of the media.
Kind
now,
of, but not really.
I hate myself.
I know it.
Damn it.
I was doubting to come here.
I became the very thing I set to destroy.
Know. Well, don't worry. I think I'll burn it down before I leave.
That was a Star Wars quote.
Oh, that's right. Went over my head. Dadgummit. I apologize. But, and they used to say, if it leads, it bleeds, or bleeds, it leads, whatever. Yeah. And I had an issue with that after a while when reporters would say stuff that didn't happen. And I'm going, you can't do that. You can't say that. There's always two sides to a story. Let's show both of them, and we cannot make a judgment whether we like it or not. It's not up to us. We're here to present the information to the public.
Yeah. Here's the facts as we know it.
And that's it.
That's it.
Walter
Cronkite, miss him.
Yes. He was the most trusted man in America. Right? And so, and it just changed. The media just changed. And so I want to come up with a class, police and media, both sides, and started with that, how it started. And yeah. So I'm working on that. But you look at that, and it got away from us because now they're 3 seconds.
Yeah.
And they held or withhold the other 10 seconds or 15 seconds of video that would, explain why it happened.
Right.
But then they retract. Oh, we're sorry. And it's too late. It's what people already see. They don't care.
Yeah.
What happened in Kenosha, Wisconsin? That officer that shot that guy 7 times in the back.
Oh yeah.
Nobody knows he was a rapist. He raped a teenage girl and called the police because he brought the keys and he wasn't supposed to be there. Took the keys away, and the officer's going, get in the car. I got a gun. I'm going to go get it. I'm going to go get it. I'm going to go get it. It looked horrible.
Yeah.
That department didn't have any cameras. They had a budget, but they never got them. And all of a sudden, the NFL players and basketball players have the guy's name in the back of the helmet. What does that do to the family?
Right.
They get traumatized all over again.
Yeah. And the victim, because the victim was
exactly
still
You know
alive.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And this is what irks me about professional athletes or anyone who's supporting a rapist.
Yeah.
I'm going, what in the world? What's this world coming to?
Yeah.
And it just said, so I'm kind of happy because I got like 4 years left, 4 or 6 years, and I'm out.
Yeah.
You know, it's just something that it's not what you wanted to do anymore.
But that's something that people need to hear is like, it's getting harder and harder to find anybody who wants to do the job.
Well,
and now look, what type of product are you going to get from officers that are looking
Correct.
elsewhere now? The ones that are still there.
right. And that's what I'm saying. It's, you want it, you're going to eventually get it.
Yeah.
But then who's going to suffer and pay for it?
Yep.
The citizens are.
Yeah.
You know, and it's something that's eventually, like when I said earlier, that's going to turn around and let the cops be cops again, because that silent majority is going to have enough.
Yep. It's the ebbs and flows.
Sure. Right. And that's where we're at right now. And so it's frustrating.
We're cresting, and I think we're going to head back down.
Hopefully.
To where we were.
You know, I really think so. Believe that's going to happen.
I think so too. With your being an NPO, you are in a lower economic, well-off area, a poor area, a pretty poor area. And what are the typical bitches, gripes, concerns, and good things that you're hearing from the community that you serve? I want people to understand the things that are thrown your way and expected to fix, or the things that you're being praised for. So other people out there that are like, well, what the hell does an NPO?
Right.
I understand what they do. They talk to people. They're the town hall leader for
Correct.
police and all that. But what are people asking of you?
The basic gripes they do is loud music or dope houses, or people parking the wrong way, parking in the grass, which is a city issue.
Right.
Nothing major, which is good. It used to be back in the 80s, we had dope houses in every corner of the house. We still have them. We got our problem issues, but it's not as bad as it used to be.
Right.
So I'm very grateful that I don't have in that area the issues that we had years ago, or when I started, it was like really bad. And due to the MPO program, I think that has, because we go out there and they see us and we listen to them. The biggest gripe was, the officer didn't say hi to me, he's so rude. I see, you understand that officer goes call to call to call to call to call. I am here in behalf of them to listen to what you have and try to fix the problems and get the folks in the neighborhood together so we can work on this together. It can't help just by myself. As you know, cops can't do everything themselves.
Yeah.
It takes a community to get involved and make a partnership with us where they feel we can trust both of each other, you know. But most of the time, man, they always tell us we did a good job, and then they come and thank me, they shake my hand. We've had that 1 or 2% that, you know, will say something to us. But for the most part, they're very kind, friendly people, and we get a good support from them. So I have real petty just petty stuff that we deal with, you know.
Yeah.
On my beat anyway.
Okay. Well, that's good.
Yeah.
I mean, one of the examples I like to use is I had to help mediate. The MPO wasn't available at the time, but they had I don't want to call it a shared driveway, but their driveways were right next to each other with this little strip of grass
Gotcha.
that goes to about the sidewalk.
Right.
And they were both putting their trash cans
On the median.
Yes. And one was saying that this is my side. Their trash is supposed to go, like, they shouldn't be together. One should be over on the other side of the driveway. Right. And that was the complaint. However, this house never told this house. They just call the cops. Cops would show up. Hey, and you know how cops are. We don't want to dime out.
Correct.
Who the problem is or what's going on. And so you go there and you try to explain what you're called out for and all that stuff. Well, I tell the MPO afterwards, hey, this is the problem. I calmed it for today, but this is going to be a repeat thing. And part of his job is mediation. And that's what he did. He said, hey, can you meet me at such and such restaurant? And he told the other person, the neighbor. And they did. They all met at this restaurant and hashed it out. Like, hey, here's the issue going on, and it worked.
Right.
Now that could have been bad. It could have
Sure, they could have showed up and go, "There's that bastard with the trash."
yeah, it could have went south quick, but it didn't.
Right.
And I just think it's interesting because MPOs have that unique ability to use their discretion very wide.
Right.
They have more discretion than most, in my opinion. So, and that's one of the draws to the job. That's why I applied for it 3 times.
Right.
You know, y'all, can you believe I have not gotten an MPO gig?
If you promote, become a sergeant, you could finally make your dream become. You could become the supervisor of the MPOs,
right.
and you'll have your dream job.
Yeah, that's not the same. It's not the same. Yeah. No, it's
a unique job.
I think it's a sweet gig, man.
You know, and as long as you do your job and you help as much as you can with their complaints.
Yeah. So if you were to fix NPO's position, because there's always like, this is the good stuff about it, here's the bad stuff I see. How would you make that job better? How would you improve it?
Man, that's a good question. I think I'm going to have to wait in that. Respond in the 20 years when I'm done.
Oh.
No.
He's scared.
No. I mean, there's so many things you could do.
Yeah.
The problem now with it is that certain groups keep demanding, and we release information that we shouldn't.
Oh, okay.
And they should go through the channels, the proper channels before they read that information and all that. I would say, God, that's a good question. I don't know where to start.
Well, just start at the officer level. So you go to work every day. What are some of the good habits that you see from like officers that do that job that you're like, this is like any NPO that comes in behind us, they need to make sure they keep doing these things. And then what are the things that you think NPOs need to get away from? Because I can tell you one, it's like being mandated to go to every city event in your area,
right? Because
it's going to run you guys ragged and going to make you not want to do the job.
Well, I was going to say that there's we go to these events constantly where there's more police than attendees.
Damn.
And why?
Yeah.
You know, whether it was poor advertisement or whatever, but it's more frequent now. We had one this past Saturday. It was a back to school program. We had flu shots. We had dental. We had free haircuts, free food, but supplies. 30 people showed up, maybe.
Really?
Yeah, it was really sad. We had a march against violence, right?
Okay.
2 people showed up.
Marchers,
and we had to do the whole parade with them.
Oh man,
blocking the streets. And so if you could decline some of these events because I know they're not going to show up,
right?
Why continue this stretch out? You know, and it's right now I work 7 days a week almost.
Yeah.
For these events, I'm like, I need a little break.
Yep.
Yeah, I think we also need officers. What you do now is how to do community policing.
Yeah.
Patrol. Just how to deal with people.
Yep.
As you know, sometimes you're just, what? No, we can't do that. Blah, blah. You go to calls. You stay away. You go and you shut your mouth and they'll come back. If I come back, I'm right. And you're not actually solving the problems. So getting them with us for a while, that's what the program now when the rookies start out. They spend a week with us. And then at the end of the week, they do another week with us before they're cut loose to the ghost face. So they know what they're dealing with, how to deal with people. And I think it's a really good idea.
Yeah.
Whether they like it or not, most of them don't. I think it's a waste of time.
Really?
Because they just want to go straight to ass kicking. And it's not all about ass kicking. You know, it's about avoiding ass kicking. And, you know, so yeah.
One of the biggest things I noticed as an instructor in an academy, that basic motto is about community policing. You know, we talked about it. We tell them, like, you know, you have to be community police oriented.
Right.
But we never show them how to do it.
No.
Only thing we were showing them how to do was be safe.
Correct.
You know, in worst case scenarios, and not necessarily all worst case scenarios, but, you know.
Well, they're all, sure.
These are all the bad situations you have to deal with. And I came up with a class on, it's really beat management. It's really what it is. But it's a community police oriented class, and it actually gives them a definition of what community policing is. Which there is no definition. There's no set definition, but
no. But you know what will be fit in your class, and when I teach multiculturalism, is there was this one white officer who had never seen a black guy until he was 17 years of age. Mm-hmm. Now, I don't know what part of the country that is. But when you release officers in certain areas like my area and not knowing the culture of the African Americans or the Hispanic culture, that we talk loud. We're very animated people. Mm-hmm. We're not arguing with you. We're not screaming. We're not yelling at you. This is how we are.
Yeah.
So not knowing the culture, you're ignorant to what's going on.
Right.
You know, and then you become, oh, don't be yelling at me. I'm Popo. I got to, and it's not that.
Right.
You know, it's learning on both ends.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. And if you put that officer in that position, you're setting them up for failure.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then whose fault is that?
Yeah.
You know, more classes in the academy, and it's not all that. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And they're not going to learn it overnight either. So it's, with the community policing aspect, I think being taught ways to do it. And I think a lot of that goes with beat management. Mm-hmm. I want, let's just say you're in the most standard of settings. You have a residential area with a business area and maybe some schools. You need to learn the perimeter of your beat to know where your streets are. So I think geographically, you need to know where you're going first.
Correct.
That's the most important thing. Get your geography down. Okay, cool. Once you got that and you get comfortable with the geography, now let's go talk to the business owners during your shift that are there. You're probably going to be on midnight, so you're going to talk to 7-Eleven, QT.
Anyone that's open.
Yeah.
Your dope house in the corner.
Yeah. So that's about the only people you're going to talk to. But you will get a feel for your beat.
Sure.
Because there's going to be crimes that they didn't report.
Absolutely.
That you're going to find out. And it's a way to start.
Right.
That is community policing. You're there for a purpose.
I agree.
And NPOs is no different. It's just more in depth.
Right.
Now we're talking like, hey, here's the physical security deficiencies I see at 7-Eleven. You got 3 lights out, so you're not getting the parking lot lit back here. The fence has got a hole cut in it. That needs to be fixed. And this will help solve all the BMVs you're having. So that's an example of an NPO's type of job function. Not just that, but talking to the community leaders. And then an officer can do the same thing. And in my class, most of the class is teaching them who their resources are. And the number one resource for me has always been my MPO. Hey, I keep finding this guy. I have these types of crimes in my beat. Do you know anything about it? And the MPO is going to be like, oh, let me tell you. Right. Well, this guy got let out of jail last year. He had this MO, and a good MPO. Anyway. Right. You'll hear all that stuff from. So that's the hard part.
Right.
Because you're an MPO. If you're being pushed more towards the community side, the enforcement side is going to lack.
Correct.
So now when that patrol officer comes up to you and is like, hey, what's been going on with all the BMVs over here? Has any happened during the days or the evening shift? And you're going to be like, I don't know, dude. I ain't had time.
Right.
I've been over here talking to Jennifer about the trash can that was left in her yard for the last week.
And that's the double-edged sword.
Yeah.
Because people begin to trust us, right? Mm-hmm. And we go, hey, how you doing? Blah, blah, kids, babies, and all that. And the next thing you know, they tell us, hey, we need complaints on abandoned vehicles and this and that.
Yeah,
and
parking violations.
So here we go.
Yeah.
So they see me going, what's wrong, officer? What you take? Mm-hmm. Then I'm the bad guy. Then everything I told them to trust is like, you're just a cop.
Yep.
Just like everyone else. Mm-hmm. And that's where we go, no, ma'am, it's this guy complained. This is what happened, city ordinance, and I have to.
Yep.
Most of them are pretty cool. Mm-hmm. And I always give people warnings first. Hey, can't park in the yard, please.
Yep.
Or, hey, can you turn your vehicle around? Can you move your car there? Can't be lasting more than 5 days and get it registered. Otherwise, I'm going to come back. And they're normally pretty cool.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? When do I enforce and when do I become their neighborhood trusty man in blue, your brother in blue or friend in blue. So it has to be a balance.
Right. And I like pointing out I think it's the Eric Garner case. You have a business owner. This was the one in, I think, New York, where big fella is selling loose cigarettes
Right.
outside of a store. The store owner has been complaining and complaining. There's this long history of all these complaints and these long history of officer contacts with this guy. That nothing bad happened other than ticket,
Right.
ticket. At what point do you enforce it? You know, like,
Right.
okay, the ticket we tried, because
didn't
I'm
work.
not going to invalidate the business owner. And I think that's what we did with that case. We're like, you know, this guy deserved to go to jail because we tried the nice cop thing.
Right.
Warnings, tickets. And now it's jail time. Because if I don't do that, and this business owner it's hurting his business.
Correct.
Let's say worst case scenario, he has to close up shop because we didn't do anything but
Right.
ticket a guy that's not going to pay the tickets and not going to stop. I think that's the bigger tragedy, because the business owner is one of the roots to the community.
Right.
And with the Eric Garner thing, very unfortunate. I don't want anybody to die over selling loose
Sure.
cigarettes, but he had to go to jail.
Right.
And then they're going to look at you as the officer that got this all kicked off. You're the bad guy,
Right.
but why is he the bad guy? He was trying to help the community.
Correct.
You're not listening to the business owner
Yeah.
over here.
But sadly, they're not looking at that.
Yeah.
What's a few cigarettes going to hurt?
Right. And it's not that I don't disagree. At the surface level, I agree with you. It's not a big deal. I
Right.
really don't care.
Right.
Personally, I really don't care.
No, yeah, I
don't.
totally understand.
And I don't. And
Unless you were that business
and
owner.
that business owner. But I can't look at that business owner and go like, dude,
Yeah.
I don't care.
No.
Like,
You know.
yeah. He's probably going to read it from my face, but I'll be like, all right, I'll go right and take it.
Sure.
You know?
Man, he's going many cop. I mean, it happens now. Mm-hmm. That guy's been here. I'm taking. Well,
Yeah.
you know, and what do you do?
Yeah. And then you got the opposite perspective of, let's say it's his car's in the way, like it's a parking violation thing. I keep ticketing. You know what? I'm gonna tow your car. I'm gonna impound it. Now that dude can't get to work. Now I may have just pushed him to more like real crime.
Right.
You know,
True.
It's just something you have to balance. We can't win.
Right. Because it's a financial thing. People
Yeah.
don't understand it. It's going to hit them hard.
Yeah.
And that's why when I instruct in the academy, I teach, the cadets, I said, don't start giving tickets. Look in the car. Look, is there toys? Is there construction equipment, work equipment?
Yeah.
That's someone's medical bill.
Mm-hmm.
It's meal for the kids. It's paying a bill. I'm not going to be a
Yep.
jerk about it. Is there time to give citations? Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a reason why.
Yeah. I had one of my wake up stories. Like, it woke me up, broke me out of I don't want to call it a bad mindset, just an uneducated mindset. Pull a truck over. It's 2:30 in the morning. Weaving a little bit, automatically thinking possible DUI. He pulls into a driveway. Like, I hit my lights. It wasn't like I followed him real far. Like, he pulls into a driveway. It's his house. Like, I got him right before he got home.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, construction stuff all inside the car. I get up there and I don't smell any alcohol or anything like that. But he was tired. My man was tired. I could tell he was tired. Right. And the lights, lighting up his vehicle, all went inside the house. And my man, I am not joking. I think 14 kids came out of this house. 14.
Wow.
And then mom, it's probably his wife, and then like 2 or 3 other adults.
Was he Hispanic?
He was Hispanic, yeah.
Yeah. You're the one who gave that.
And so I'm sitting there. He's got no driver's license. He had a Mexican
driver's license.
I think it's a driver's license. Okay. It's one of those. It's like,
yeah,
it's got your picture. It says a lot of Spanish words. I'm gonna go.
It's probably his Mexican Chuck E. Cheese ID card.
Yeah, it could be. So I gave him credit for it, but no insurance. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, all right, he's not drunk. He's in his driveway. So, okay. You know, yes, sometimes when you get home, we kind of have that home base rule.
Right.
But if you're running from a felony and you run home, that doesn't count.
Yeah, no.
We're still coming to get you. But on a traffic stop, my main concern was a DWI. I ruled that out right away. Wasn't drunk. And now I have a decision to make. This asshole's out driving around with no insurance, no valid driver's license for me. If he gets in an accident with somebody, what's he going to do? You know, that's a high risk for a hit and run.
Right.
And I know that. But I'm looking at his house and I see all these people, all these kids, and I see, I mean, he still had the reflector vest on. And he spoke broken English, but I was like, you working? And he's like, yeah. He said roads. So he's working out on the freeways and stuff, which is dangerous enough. But I'm like, oh my God. If this would have been any other place, I probably would have towed his vehicle.
Right.
Because he shouldn't be on the road.
Right.
And then I look and I'm like, he's working for the state. I mean,
right.
text out some sort
Sure.
because he's out there working on the roadways. And he's trying.
Right.
And if I take this truck, he's fucked.
Oh, yeah.
He's in all
Sure.
14.
It's a huge domino effect.
Yeah.
And people don't understand that.
Yeah.
They think, I'm going to write you a ticket, I'm going to be a good cop, my sergeant's going to be... No, it's a human side that we have to empathize with. And, you know, just knowing their situation.
Right.
You know, it's for us, it's just simple. Hey, it takes 15 minutes. Here you go. Okay, I got 15 days. Now it's 11 days. Now it's like 30 days, I guess.
Yeah.
And I had a similar situation. I pulled this guy over, and he was honest with me. Say, hey, officer, listen, I got warrants. I said, okay, I appreciate you letting me know. Go to the car. He had 17.
Traffic warrants?
Yeah. My limit is 5.
Okay.
You know, if you got more than
you
5,
line.
you know what?
Yeah.
You know, you're not really, you know.
Yeah.
And he goes, listen, I just got to start working. Here's my works, well, you know, my work gear and all that. And I said, you can take me to the job. I mean, you can take me to jail. I get it. You're going to do your job. He goes, but if I go to jail, I'm trying to get my family back together, I'm going to lose this job. Okay, hold on a second. Go to the car. I'm thinking, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Something tugs on you that he's being honest. He gave me the heads up. I said, listen, today you need to take care of this little by little. You know, there's a payment plan, or you can start working them off somehow in your time off, blah, blah, blah. Well, I forgot about it. And I think like 2 or 3 years later, I'm going to QT, and he recognized, I hear, Officer Garcia, Officer Garcia. Look over, and it's him.
Working at QT?
No, just going to get a drink. And I said, yes. He goes, you remember me? I said, no, sir, I don't remember you. He goes, well, I had 17 warrants. Remember you pulled me over? I said, oh, because I remember that, you know.
Yeah.
I said, yes, sir. He goes, man, thank you so much for not taking me to jail. I paid them off. I got my kids back together. I'm doing really well. I just want to thank you.
Nice.
So that's kind of cool,
Yeah.
you know. So you look at that, and if we made the wrong decision, where would he be?
Where would he be?
You know?
Probably back to crime.
Back to crime and lose his family, lose his job. So we have such power of ruining someone's life that we don't consider at that moment.
And it's hard. You're always looking at the big picture, but there's always, in my opinion, there's these 3 pillars to the big picture. I have to look at the possible victims. All right, if I let this guy go, who am I giving a big FU to?
Right.
You know, is it a business owner?
Right.
You know, is it just the general public? Whatever. If I enforce this, how am I going to screw over this guy?
Right.
Is he going to get screwed over? Is it his own fault? Like,
yeah, I got you.
You know,
sure.
And then you got that middle line where it's like, all right, what does it do to me inside? Right. You know, like
sure.
My conscience on that, like, because I've wrote a ticket where afterwards I'm like,
oh yeah,
fuck, I'm a dick.
Yes, absolutely.
You know, I was my mind isn't always in a happy place.
Right.
You know, it might be pitchy.
Sure, because something happens in your home, you take it with work, right. You know what I'm saying? But we get influence.
Yeah.
And then I like what you said, we don't, you take in consideration B, A, B, C. I mean, everything. The victims. What happened if I let this guy go? Who's going to suffer if I do this? What's going to be the consequence of it? It just, and
on the smallest to the biggest crimes, it doesn't matter.
you should, and that's a great way of seeing things.
Yeah.
Because that way, rational, you bring your, unless it's a heinous crime or something.
Right.
But something that can be fixed, or you know that person's going to change, you have a lot of say in what that decision that person's going to do. I never told nobody this, but I'm going to tell you, I gave, about a month ago, I gave 2 parking citations. And this lady goes to the station to speak because she's Hispanic and all that. And she wants to talk to Detective Garcia. Because I guess those cars were involved in the hit and run with her. I don't know.
Okay.
Or somebody hit them cars, and so they kept them on the street because they were damaged.
Okay.
So I cite them because, abandoned vehicles, whatever, storing car in the street. And she comes and she goes, "Oh, no, I'm not over Garcia. Detective Garcia, okay." And then she goes, "Who gave you those tickets?" And I look over, and it was me. And I go, "Oh, I remember your vehicles because it just happened recently." I said, "Yes, ma'am. Yes, you can't keep cars in the street. If you can't move them, maybe find me." And she goes, "Okay, how much is it going to cost?" "No, it's not much. $60, $120 for both." And she goes, "I don't have any money." And she says, "I went to the hospital because I'm stressed and they're dealt with the police." And she showed me the bruise of the IV.
Yeah. And
she's walking with a cane. She rode the bus. And now I'm feeling like a turd.
Right. I mean, you didn't know.
I didn't know. But it's just,
Yeah.
And she goes, "Well, I guess I can start selling tamales on the street." And that hit me.
Dang.
I went, "Damn it." Because all of a sudden you think of my mom or my grandma. Go,
Right.
Shit.
Right.
So I said, "Well, ma'am, I'm sorry, blah, blah." She goes, okay. She gets on her bus and goes home. I didn't know she had a bus, And so off of Ramey,
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I guess a lot of cities have Ramey.
Yeah.
Ramai.
Ramai,
Yeah. And so I feel so bad.
Yeah.
I go to the bank. I take out 120 and I call her and she goes, "Oh, I'm just getting off the bus." Oh, no. Even more, So
Right.
I see her meter. I get out and say, "Listen, I don't do this, but I don't want you to suffer."
Yeah.
Yeah, I know it's it might be nothing for me.
Right.
But it's the world to you. So here it is, just between you and me. Please take these. Boy, she just started crying,
Oh, geez.
hugging me in the street. She wouldn't let me go. She goes, "You're an angel. You're an angel."
Right.
And stuff like
Best
that.
$120 you ever spent.
Right. I felt great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I felt awesome. And she would happily, like she had a little kick in her step on her little cane.
She threw the cane.
And she
was
threw the cane and
faking
started
it.
walking straight and going, "I'm gambling now."
Got him again.
You gave me a crack and cocaine. Sorry.
Those cars have been out there since 1980.
Another
Works
sucker.
every time.
Touching. But, and I'm sure you have in the past. I bought groceries at 15s. I go in and open the refrigerator door. There's nothing for the kids.
Yeah.
I go
Always
buy
Parmesan
groceries.
cheese.
Yes.
Isn't that weird?
And like old hot dogs.
Yeah.
And
They never go bad.
So I'll go to the store and I'll knock the door and I'll leave. I'll never let them know it's me. Mm-hmm. But it's just, you're human.
Yeah.
And if we're blessed to have a nice paying job, and if we can help somebody out, it goes way beyond policing. It's
I found a new, you get a new breath of fresh air. And
absolutely.
Police work all the time.
Yes.
So the spot I'm in now with the property crime stuff, I'll get these victims where they got especially effed, especially your small business owners, like construction guys or whatever, and their truck gets taken, all their tools they depend on for their livelihood. They can't even go to the job that they're supposed to go to the next morning
because they got nothing to work with.
Nothing to work with. And I take that shit to heart, personal. And I'm not going out buying them tools because I just can't afford that.
Right.
But what I do,
just buy them a little coffee at QT, which you get for free.
Yeah. What I do is me and my team will adopt that case and we'll work that thing 24 hours straight. Just
sure.
Whether we're physically at work or we're sitting at home looking on Facebook Marketplace or looking on OfferUp or whatever it is, trying to find the tools, trying to catch a lead. And I obviously it's not 100% success rate, but That's the extra mile we go into.
Exactly. And to help
a real victim.
Absolutely.
You created your victim, which was different. So I didn't do that.
Thanks. Thank you for making me feel like a dick.
Right. But yeah, we'll go the extra mile, and people don't get to see that. And this is the hardest thing for me to overcome doing this show. To me, it's bragging. And most cops that I know, like you said, you left groceries, you walk away, you don't say shit.
Right.
Because they're not about that. I'm not about TikToking and doing these selfie stuff and, the way you talk on there. Like, I was told to, like, animate myself more. So now I'm like, hey, it's Eric Levine, TCOV. Like, I don't talk like that.
Well, it's not you, because then it becomes fake, because your show is not about that.
Right.
It's not about gimmicks and funny stuff and all that type of thing. You're just being honest.
I'm funny. I know I'm funny.
Well, I'm still trying to laugh. No, you did a couple of things.
I look funny.
No, you do. Yeah, that's true. Well, that helps you.
Get them mixed up. But, so that's making myself brag about stuff I see cops do now. Even if it's myself, like, I have to put it out there. And I got to not look at it as bragging. I just want people to know the stuff that we're doing that you don't see.
Right. We do a lot of good things every day.
Every day.
Yeah. I pulled this kid over one time, and he had ran out of gas, but he was hauling to get to the gas station. I said, you're wasting more gas when you go faster.
But I can coast a lot longer.
I said, yeah, And he goes, oh, man, I gave him $20. Yeah. And he looked at me like, what? I said, here's $20. You can get it.
Yeah.
And he goes, hold on.
Gives you weed?
No, he goes, he gets his camera, goes live, and says, look at this mother effer.
Oh, yeah.
He goes, you think cops are bad? Look at this mother.
Right.
He's helping me out perfectly. I'm black.
Yeah.
And he's helping me out with $20. He starts crying on live. I'm going, dude, just no big deal. Just take your money. So it's not to brag. It's that I wish more people knew that we do, Christmas, we the family crime, we went to a call. Darty went to a call. Mm-hmm. Mom had just moved over here. The kids were sleeping on the floor. So we all got together. We bought beds, furniture, groceries. I think each kid had $100 worth of Christmas gifts.
Oh,
I mean, they were
nice.
And the mom's like going, what is this?
What just happened?
Yeah. And cops are doing this.
Yeah.
They don't even know me. Mm-hmm. So that to me was like, oh.
Yeah. See, I like things like that. The thing that I hate happens. Like, you guys go do that. Cool. What happens is when the cameras and stuff, they're like, wait, hold on.
Yeah.
We got to get
No.
It's got to be in the moment.
Yeah. And that's why we don't say anything, because we don't tell anybody.
Right.
It's, hey, we got this show where we got this family, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And we do it, and that's it. If they want to go ahead and tell, but we're not. I'd like, hey, here's mine, keep me out of it. Here's my money. That's it. And I think people start, appreciating. It might affect the little kid in becoming a next officer. It might be coming to want to go, hey, this cop helped me out as a kid. And he could be, I don't know, he could be a superstar cop. I don't know.
Right.
So I like think of it as we're dropping little seeds here and there.
Yeah.
In our career. We may never see them.
Yeah.
But as long as that person knows, they go, hey, that guy did this to me.
I challenge officers now, like, most of you guys aren't going to do this yourself. But when you see your partner do something, or you see another officer do something really good, and they recorded on their body cam, or you recorded on your body cam, because that's the most genuine time.
Correct.
Because there's no cameras, real cameras around. Nobody's trying to do it just to show out. It's in the moment. Like, get that out there. Let somebody know. Because a lot of times it just goes unnoticed.
Sure.
Because there weren't.
See, and I don't mind that.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know, but years ago, that dog that was saved on the freeway.
There was a dog saved on the freeway.
Me and another officer saved his dog on the freeway.
Oh, okay.
And it became national news.
Really?
all the way in us, and in Israel, somebody saw it.
What the
Yeah, and I didn't say anything, but the dog got the dog, and you hear the honks. Ba, 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 ba.
Yeah.
I think I said the.
Oh, yeah.
What time was it?
2:14.
Yeah, so
We almost made it.
almost. So they say, "Hey, PD, save this dog." Blah blah blah, and this officer loves the limelight,
Yeah.
so he's the one that called.
Okay.
I'm going, don't say anything. No,
Yeah.
no. And next thing you know, they're calling me. And I, you know, I'm saying it's not for me to do that, you know, because people go, "Oh, I became a cop because I want to help people." And I say, that's nice, but as a human being, you should be helping people way before you're a cop.
Right.
You know, it's not, it doesn't start now with a badge again. It started with you were able to decipher.
Yeah. It's a part of why.
Correct.
But
it's not the part.
my part was I wanted to improve policing.
Yeah. And
I
I wanted
didn't, I didn't really like cops where I was at. So,
wow. Blue collar town, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's a little different back up there.
yeah.
Very different.
So, yeah, just bad experience with cops. But yeah, it's a hard thing for cops to. I think the younger generations that's coming through, it's going to be easier and easier for them because they grew up with the damn camera in their face.
Right.
And that will be more reoccurring. You're going to start seeing, you know,
Sure.
cops doing more of the stuff they've
Right.
always been doing. Just
Yeah, but it'll be more
seen.
noticeable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
more noticeable. So I like that. But yeah, that's the next thing I'm just trying to get people comfortable with, like, because like I said, most of us we're that way. Like,
Right.
I'm not gonna go, hey, go check out this video.
Right.
But since I've been doing this, and a little bit before, you know, like with my masters and all that stuff, I started thinking outside the box. Like, instead of like worrying about myself and like, you know, it looks like I'm bragging and all that stuff, like I'm trying to help police work now.
Right.
So take myself out of the equation. Is it going to help police work in a good way without
Right.
being disingenuous?
Right.
So if I can get those factors, then absolutely.
See, it's true. My thing, I have a personal goal just for me.
Yeah.
Like five or three things in whatever I do. One of them is to make an impression. One of them is to make a change in somebody. Mm-hmm. You know, or make a change in the department.
Yeah.
To change people's lives. So every day I'll go, okay, I got this to do. How am I going to change this? So it's a goal for me to make it a better department, or at least me making some kind of an effort.
Right.
Or a change in a small way. Mm-hmm. And that person will go, oh, you know, ain't so bad.
Yeah.
But for me, I got those things that I got to do and check every day.
Mm-hmm.
Did I make this? Did I do that? You know, because it makes me a better person.
Yeah.
And I need a lot of help becoming a better person. But it also is a better cop. You know what I'm saying? I might not be the super stud hero that you are, catching bad guys and robbers, and this cool little vest that you wear, those khaki, you know, those tight khaki pants that your team wears.
It's just
you know,
mine. I got a bubble butt. So.
coming in, chewing a little toothpick. I got that, you know, that I'm just a lonely guy, you know, old bastard that just wants to leave it. Well, I know it, but leave it better than when I first started.
Yeah.
That's the goal, you know. But 14 years, man, it's come flying by.
Right.
You know.
And then you got to continue your spy.
Then I'm going to go back to spying.
spying.
Which I had a dream, by the way, yesterday, that I had to give up my citizenship to move to Russia.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I'm going, what am I doing? I had to save this guy from, I don't know what it was. My wife goes, what are you doing? I'm meet me in Moscow. And I woke up.
I'll have the pickle chops. Let's go.
Yeah, but that's bizarre. But
All right, man. Well, I appreciate you coming out.
My
We've been,
pleasure.
Almost 2 hours, 20 minutes.
Wow.
It goes quick.
It goes by real quick.
Yeah. Next time, we'll have you on after the lights get fixed, and I'll let you pick a new topic
Cool.
because there's no limit.
All righty. We can go ahead and get them out. Then I'll pass you on some lighting. We'll discuss this later with the board people.
Right.
But thank you so much. Dug it.
Appreciate it, bro.
My pleasure. Thanks for having
coming
me,
in.
man.